shit. Oh my god, that was so epic. I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just... So here we are, back with the real Supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
I'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready.
Nope. Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
But why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
He just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3. Ballapalooza.
It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here. Okay, welcome everybody.
Welcome again.
Hopefully everybody had a good week. We had a very, very busy week. If you saw my tweet, we've been doing a ton of garage work.
Still not done. Getting closer, but not done yet.
We are closer every day, but oh my God, it is just a lot of very late nights. I think one night I was up till like 1 a.m. Something like that. So a lot of fun stuff going on in the garage. Can't wait to show everybody. Hi everybody. It's looking at chat. Everybody is here. We're going to do kind of the usual. We're going to go ahead and start off with some Tesla news, and then we're going to open it up and just kind of hang out and answer any questions you guys might have or anything like that. But first and foremost, I have a few thanks we need to give out. Huge thanks to David, Jess, Gabrielle, for the referrals. And I think there are a few more, but they just jump straight to deliveries. I don't know. It seems like we've been getting a few more of those lately.
Yeah, it is the end of the quarter rush, so a lot of people doing last-minute orders, last-minute deliveries. So they only have a few days left in the quarter. So, yeah, but thanks to all those. But anyways, we're going to do it like usual. We're going to talk about some Tesla news, things that happened in the Tesla world over the past week, and then we will go right into question and answers, answer any question you have about Tesla. So,
sorry, somehow your camera got all jacked, so I had to just fix it real quick. I don't know what's going on. I think this place is haunted. Anyway, huge thanks to you guys. So, Model S refresh. Huge news, I guess. Well,
still no deliveries, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's
and
the big
actually,
news. And no
this morning, we did go by our local delivery center, and we were like, hey, well, let's just go for a drive. And
unfortunately, we didn't find a new one.
Didn't find any new ones.
But
it looked like inventory overall was really low.
Yeah, I think they're doing like usual at the end of the quarter. They are trying to deliver every car possible, and I mean, of course, they haven't had any new S and X production, since last December. So we only saw a couple S and X's, and those could have actually been used cars that were like trade-ins.
I think they were, because one of them was like a silver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we did see a lot of Ys and 3s all lined up, like they had just been delivered and they're ready to go through prep to be. They'd just been taken off the truck and they're ready to go through prep to get ready for delivery. So they still are pushing out the cars. But yeah, the lot was about the emptiest I've seen it in a while. So you can tell they're keeping busy. But unfortunately, we did not spot any new S or X.
Yeah.
But after we had our stream last week, somebody did spot one at a Supercharger out in California, and it was one. It looks like they did post some videos, some pictures about it. This one that they saw it was a plaid model, but I think it was long range because it did not have the carbon fiber interior.
Yeah, so this is from one of the Reddit posts.
But also you can see that it has a steering wheel instead of the yoke. And you can't see it. So hopefully this is version 11, which we've been waiting for, or maybe this is just the interface. Version 10 will be on the new S and X. But you can see definitely there's some changes there. Like on that first picture back there, they had multiple buttons, and who knows if those options, maybe you can customize where those are. I don't know. But right now, it's kind of like a quick way of seeing a bunch of different settings. And
it looked like stackable tiles almost.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Kind of like in Windows 10, if you can
because like right here, it looked like tiles.
I know some people were complaining. They saw this picture and you can see navigation, and they were complaining navigation was so small. But the car is in park. It's not going anywhere. I would assume that if you're actually driving, that would expand down and be a lot bigger. Yeah. But we don't know. We haven't seen it in action yet. But so a lot of interesting screens. But also back there's some new settings on one of those screens. You can see that has media on drive. People have complained for years that there's no way to turn off the media on a Tesla, and you turn it off and you come back. So now they have an option, media on drive, so that not a huge new feature, but it's one that people have been probably requesting for the last 9 years. And basically, you don't have to listen to the media if you don't want to. Other things that this person posted about, they said there's a drag strip mode, so they kind of replaced the launch mode option. And
so I think it was. Let me see if I can
if you go through
find
a couple
it.
If you go through a couple of the screens, it's on one of the settings when you. Go to a couple.
Yeah, it might have.
It's not on here because it's when you see the tabs or whatever. But so there's a drag strip mode, and you can see on that screen there's also a charging tab. So they moved charging from where it was previously. Yep. And let's see here. So also, as you can see, there's a steering wheel instead of the yoke. And so that's interesting. The person who posted these pictures said that they confirmed that it will ship with a round steering wheel, and the yoke will be retrofit after it gets a regulatory approval. So who knows how accurate that is, but it's interesting to see some new video and new pictures.
Yeah, so everything they said they confirmed it to ship with the round steering wheel, yoke as a retrofit. Again, though, I guess we have to take that with a grain of salt.
And supposedly you could keep the steering wheel if you're not interested in the yoke.
Yeah. Smart shift can be turned off, which we have a video of. We'll show you in just 1 second. And controls are both on screen and the steering wheel. Nothing on the pad below on the phone charger where we did originally see
and we saw that on a couple mules, and Elon
everything.
Had mentioned that, and we saw it at a couple mules, but it was not on this car. So it remains to be seen how final is this car, or is it still a mule? We don't know.
Yeah, and then it said screen can tilt both ways. They called it V11 for version 11 software, and they said it looks insane. They said this is the plaid model. The battery was at 361 miles and close to its 100% limit. So total battery on plaid supposed to be 390. So that puts the current battery at 92 to 93%. But again, when they come up with like new batteries and everything, it normally takes a little while for them to like exactly dial in the range.
Go through the EPA approval and all that stuff. So they kind of have the estimate, and that could always change after delivery. Or like you said, they could come out with software update weeks or months after that, which can bump it up or adjust it once they see how it's performing in the real world.
Yep. And the other cool thing is it did actually say car has FSD beta indicated by the camera icon on the screen next to the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and HomeLink button. So, I mean, that was kind of interesting. But overall, like, I will say this, though. They need some floor mats in this car. Stat, because it was really dirty. Whoever's driving this car as an employee is driving it hard. But you can see, like, the screen is tilted here. So I kind of am digging that. That'll make it kind of fun. So if you're the only person in the car as the driver, you can tilt it towards you, or I don't know, some fun stuff there.
And the cool thing, they did have a video showing how to switch, and it's basically how I'd predicted, or we had predicted months ago. We were saying, well, if it's going to be, maybe it's going to be on the screen, and you like swipe up or down to change direction, because that way you don't have to look for a button. And while they do show it on the video, maybe a larger portion of the screen is actually swipeable.
Yeah, so
not just the little like centimeter on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, so here's the actual video. Is actually posted by Baxter Down on Tesla Motor Club forum. But he has some other good observations. He was able to see it as a service center and sit in it for a few seconds. He said millisecond. But he said it looks like there's new UI. You can see from the attached photos, the background can change colors, also comparing to my Model X. So this might be part of a Model 3 and Model Y. Fonts seem tighter, lighter, not as chunky. Lots of swiping to move in and out of screens, which I love that. Gestures are so much easier to actually use and use quickly because you don't have to be as precise and hit a button. The screen resolution is much better than their Model X, but again, though, they have never been in a 3 or Y, so I think overall, 3 and Y are a lot more snappy.
Well, it depends
than the older S
if they have an older MCU one. Yeah, they might have been more impressed with that.
And then Smart Shift overrides an icon on the car on the left side of the screen. You swipe up for forward, down for reverse. They actually took a quick little video here, so you can see how you actually will go forward or reverse. I think this is kind of fun. It'll be interesting to see how it works in the real world, but that's pretty much exactly what you had thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we mentioned that months ago.
So that's kind of cool.
And I know some people will think that's cool. Other people think that's stupid because they're like, I have to take my hands off the steering wheel. But guess what? People have been driving manual cars since cars have existed.
And always had one hand
and
off.
You have to take your hand off the steering wheel to change gears with that. So yes, you are removing your hand from the steering wheel. It was nice when you had the the stalk, but we'll see. We'll give this a go and see how it works for us.
I think the other thing too is I'm very, very interested to try the Smart Shift.
Yeah, that'll be
I'm curious to know, like, if I pull into a parking spot that has no cars in front of me and no cars behind me, but I want to back up, how's it going to know?
Yeah.
We'll see how that works
to be
out.
Seen.
But some other things they posted are cloth inserts on the door panels. They're also black shiny plastic trim over the wood trim on the dash and door. Side cameras are ginormous. They took a picture and you can actually see they seem to stick out a lot more so. And the horn is not on the center of the steering wheel anymore. It is a soft button to the right.
That's hard to believe that they don't have a regular horn, because if you're wanting to push it in an instant, we were hoping that was like a pedestrian horn and the regular horn would still be in the center, because you're not. But again, is this confirmed, or is the guy just saying the horn button and thinking
maybe?
Yeah, so he could. It remains to be seen how accurate this is. That could still be like a pedestrian horn, and then the regular horn. We don't know.
Yeah, but here you can see like the side repeater camera, like I was mentioning there, how much bigger it actually is. Thing looks like a beast. That center driver screen actually looks pretty nice, and you can see that horn icon right there. Here's those like cloth he was talking about on that door panel. I don't know, it doesn't look terrible. I don't know what they would put there otherwise, because if they did just like black leather, I think it would really match with the. I don't know.
I wonder though too with
we'll see how it
because
looks.
it seems like that's going to have a lot of touch, and while that might be softer, it might be a lot of a dirt magnet as well.
Exactly. So I mean, overall, I'm very excited to see a refresh S or X, but we haven't seen either.
But we do still have our orders open for both the S and the X. But like everybody else, we don't have any delivery yet. Some people are seeing dates on their vehicles. We don't have any delivery date. At least as of yesterday, I still don't have a date or a VIN.
Yeah. So kind of sad there. Sorry, somebody's calling me. I will have to answer that later. I am working. But otherwise, like the refresh S&X, again, though, we have heard nothing. Obviously, I don't foresee anyone taking delivery this quarter unless they do like a last minute thing at Fremont, maybe.
They have a couple days left, and it's really unfortunate we haven't heard anything. Yes,
exactly.
They announced it at the end of January, but they haven't sent like a single email or I don't think very few tweets as well. And so it seems like if I was in charge of $1 billion company or something, I would maybe send out some bulk emails and let people know it's like, okay, we're working hard. Yeah, we're falling behind schedule, but your new car is going to have all these cool features, and that would cost them virtually nothing to send an email. We're not asking for videos or anything like that, but like an email. Why is the delay? And that would probably keep a lot of people satisfied. And because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I canceled my order. I'm moving to something else." But we're sticking with Tesla.
Something.
But it'd be nice to get a word about it.
A little something would be really nice. But anyway, Elon did actually tweet this week, you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. I don't know what's going on, but you actually can. It is on their website. You legit can. It says they're using only internal and open source software that operates Bitcoin nodes directly. And Bitcoin paid to Tesla will be retained as Bitcoin, not converted to fiat currency.
They're not going to like cash it out and...
Exactly, but there is a huge terms and conditions list. So David actually went through this and found a few interesting tidbits. Basically, transactions once confirmed.
It locks the price in.
It does.
And
like the whole underpayments, overpayments, basically like if Bitcoin goes up or down or whatever, you just kind of get what you get. And they do have the option to pay you back in USD.
If you decide to cancel your order, your refund will be in cash, not in Bitcoin.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Definitely read the terms and conditions if you're interested in that. Now, personally, I do own some crypto, but does that mean I would ever use crypto to buy a Tesla? Absolutely not, because crypto is going up for the most part.
For the most part, yep.
Whereas once you buy a car, it's going to go down, and it's like the guy who spent 10,000 Bitcoins on pizza back in the day. Those 10,000 Bitcoins that he probably used to pay $20 or $40 for pizza are now worth $630 million. Put that into perspective.
Oops.
I'm never using cryptocurrency to buy a Tesla. I do think it is fun, though. I saw a lot of people have been, and they've been posting screenshots and everything. So props to them. But I will not be. But also, you technically will still be taxed. This isn't like a loophole to not get taxed on earnings. So keep that in mind. Real quick, though, Pierre, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
Thanks, Pierre.
He said, advisors told me due to delays in production, I may not get my S until the end of April, early May. Ordered at the beginning of January. And see, so here comes the dilemma. We have a S and X on order. If the X right now has been delayed till May to June, whereas the S, if we don't get it till May...
We might not be getting both, I guess.
We might not be getting both.
Because originally we were going to get just the X.
Exactly.
Because originally it was supposed to be coming out a week or two after the S, back in like February.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we'll get the X. But, it's got some really good tax breaks on the X. But then we're like, well, we haven't had a new S in the last 4 years, so let's get an S too. And because it's coming out sooner. But now we've been waiting months and still nothing. But yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen yet. And then... Thank you for the super chat, though, Pierre. And then Diego has a $3 super chat. I don't know why my there we go. Confetti said, "Hey Eric, is the fresh cut David's work?" It is, and then his haircut is my work.
Yeah.
It was haircut day today.
We opted. We talked a few weeks back about going for the mullet look, and we went a month past it, and we decided no, it's not going to happen.
No.
So.
Thank you for the super chat, though. But anyway, the Bitcoin thing is interesting. I don't know how a lot of people feel about it. It seems like on Twitter, most people kind of agree. Why would you exchange an appreciating asset for a depreciating one? And I couldn't agree more. Yeah. So anywho, on to some MCU2 upgrade info. I know a lot of people in here have been kind of waiting to see what's going to go on with that. But there is an update with that still.
Yeah, so basically we paid last year on the 2017 S100D, we went ahead and paid $2,500 and got that MCU upgrade, and that did not include the radio tuner. That was later made available at a $500 add-on charge. We didn't get that. And then later on, was it just a couple months ago, we got the S75D upgraded, and by then they had lowered the price to $1,500, and we thought that was a great deal. Definitely consider getting that upgrade. Since then, they've since raised the price again for some people, because as part of that upgrade, they are throwing in the full self-driving computer, whether or not you had bought full self-driving. And so they know that the older, hardware 2 or 2.5 was not going to be able to handle that, and even the increased visualizations they've added recently. So now they've made it so that for Autopilot 2 and 2.5 cars, it's going to be $2,000, and it's $1,500 for cars without Autopilot. And you might think that means, without Autopilot 2 and 2.5. And so the way that happens, I think, is like Autopilot 1 cars and earlier would be $1,500, but it also sounds like cars that maybe had paid for full self-driving, they would be eligible for that full self-driving upgrade. So for them, I think it would still only be $1,500 because you could get that full self-driving included as part of that upgrade. So you're not having to pay for that upgrade. That should be coming if you have full self-driving already purchased.
Yeah.
But there was some other price increases, so it wasn't just the MCU2 upgrade that went up. Looks like the Model 3 had another price increase. We had just mentioned a couple weeks ago they had a price increase. There was another $500 increase on at least one of the models, and looks like also some people are seeing some increases on solar in California, not nationwide, but it looks like they're raising prices. So I think they're probably kind of separating it. It's because we talked in the past, you can go to the Tesla website and the price used to be pretty much the same, I think exactly the same, no matter where you were located for solar. And that was really unusual because while the parts might cost the same, labor can vary greatly in price across the country. So it looks like they might finally be differentiating the price based upon where you're getting installed, based upon that labor market.
Yep. So some interesting things. Again, though, a few weeks ago, Tesla increased the price of almost all the lineup.
Yeah, because like the Plaid Plus went up.
Yep.
Some of the Model Ys, some of the 3s went up. And so yeah, we're seeing price increases. But one other thing is somebody pointed out, maybe this is because the tax credit might be coming back. So
True.
They're gradually raising the price again now. So if that $7,000 or $7,500 tax credit comes back, it will help offset that some. But to this date, right now, still no bill has been passed into law, so still no tax credit on that. But maybe Tesla sees the writings on the wall and they're like, hey, maybe we can raise it a little bit. And because if they
would be interesting if that's their goal.
If they waited until the law was passed and then jumped the price up $5,000-$6,000, people are gonna yell. And so this way they're kind of increasing it gradually, and then the tax credit will hopefully help offset that.
Yep.
But one reason, maybe the reason they're paying or increasing these prices is because they're continuing to expand the Supercharger network.
Bingo.
And we've seen the expanding across the U.S., but also they had a big announcement about Canada, and there were like 11 new Superchargers announced in Canada out in the western provinces, and that's really cool because they built across the Trans-Canadian Highway. They opened them all up within a few months, like a little over a year ago, but now they've added like 11 more ones. So not all of these are brand new on the blue dots, but a lot of them are leaving all the way up to Prince George, which is way out
up
there.
Here.
And so while you're still not going to be able to get to Alaska yet, it's the next step.
Yep.
Once they get these built out, then they're still going to need several more before they can build into Alaska and get that one built up there. But it'll happen. It's happening. They're continuing to expand it, so it's great news to see that they are expanding the Supercharger network. And we're hoping, there's still at least one under construction right now in Colorado. We need to head down and check it out. But we know that there's several more coming. And Eric's showing scenes right now from supercharge.info shows this is like a community-sourced or crowdsourced website that keeps track of superchargers and where they're located and what state they're in. The red ones are ones that are already open. Blue shows ones that have permits, and the ones with the little cones show the ones that are currently known to be in production.
Yep. Kind of fun though, because hopefully by the time we get our Roadster, a lot of these will be built out, and maybe we can go to Canada with the Roadster.
Once the borders open to free travel again,
True,
we're definitely looking to that, because there's a couple. We don't want to head all the way to Seattle just because that would, not on this trip, but one of these days it'd be nice if we could head up through Montana and then go up around through British Columbia and Alberta and stuff. But we'll make it to Seattle one of these days. We definitely love it up there. Eric actually used to live up there.
I lived in Seattle for 2 years.
Yeah, and we definitely love Vancouver Island areas too.
Yeah, so hopefully by the time the Roadsters come, everything will be a little bit more at ease. And we can go up there with it.
And again,
I think that'd be a blast.
This might be our first trip, but we are planning all kinds of other trips around the United States.
Oh, yeah.
And we're probably not going to be able to do all 48 contiguous states in one trip, but we'll probably break it up into several trips, and hopefully we'll be able to get out there and meet a lot of you guys out there at some of the Superchargers and other events.
Depends if I still have a job or not.
Yeah. That's true. If we don't have jobs, then I guess we'll have a lot of free time.
I know.
We'll have more time to drive around.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. So yeah, I don't know. It would be kind of fun. But in other news, so Tesla Tequila.
They brought it back temporarily.
We love it.
Yeah.
Well,
and then it sold out again, I think.
David's not a huge Tesla connoisseur. Neither am I.
Tesla Tequila connoisseur.
But we have some really funny TikToks of him trying it. If you haven't checked them out, definitely do. They're hilarious. But anyway, Tesla is now selling just the decanter. But if you live in the U.S., no.
Yeah. At least for now, I don't know. It might be in other countries, but it did come to our attention that in the United Kingdom, you can order the decanter, which is basically an empty bottle. Yeah. And it was not cheap, though. I think it was like 130 pounds. Okay. Yeah. So not cheap. But it's definitely a unique piece. And it is hand-blown glass. And so that, it's not the cheapest thing, but it's a nice little Tesla souvenir, make a nice gift.
Yeah, and definitely something that you could potentially just get your own tequila in, put it in, and maybe give it to somebody as a gift. I think it's kind of cool that they're selling it, but I don't know why it's not available in the U.S. yet. Yeah. That's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, especially because we saw when you originally ordered it, when it first came out, is that some states you're not allowed to order or have alcohol delivered. And so a lot of people were able to buy it right away. And we had some problems because their website was saying we couldn't get it delivered here, even though it was listed in the list of states that Colorado is allowed. And we know it is allowed, but they were having some problems. So it's weird how they're not selling just the empty bottle here, but maybe it's just because they are hand blown and it's not something they can stamp out millions of them. And if they were to come out with 1,000 of them, maybe they're trying to spread them around to help, give a few to Europe, give a few here, stuff like that. They did bring back Tesla Tequila. They did have it back in stock for a while, but it sold out again.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer.
So, I'm sure hopefully they'll offer it here eventually in the States again. And if you are in one of those states that you can't order it, hopefully you'll be able to get it one of these days.
But we're still waiting for our shot glasses. I'm pretty sure Elon mentioned that.
He was talking about glassware and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, Elon, if you're watching, we're ready to buy. Let us know when. So that was kind of interesting. But other news, so Elon has been on a lot of tweeting lately. Some of it I think has been getting him in a bit of trouble, but he did recently tweet that there is a 0% chance Tesla could greater than 0% chance.
Slight difference.
Tesla could be the biggest company, and I've been hearing this tweet is getting him in a little bit of hot water.
Well, he had another tweet too that said maybe later this year.
Exactly, and that was deleted.
He deleted that part. So that means that they must have something, either he's totally making up or that there's something we don't know about that is major news that he's expecting, them to really skyrocket in value.
So hear me out. What if the new Model S is delivered with a 600-mile range?
And
they're like, just kidding.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that'll be nice. The Plaid one,
I'm hopeful.
The Plaid Plus is supposed to have over 500, but the Plaid Plus has been delayed until next year, so I don't think that's the big news. Yeah. But maybe it could be some sort of merger or something. Well, it still says Tesla would be bigger, so they would still have to be Tesla.
Yeah. So. I don't know. Interesting thought, though, and Elon, once again, maybe getting some slaps on the wrist. I don't know. We'll have to hear about that in the future. So next up, no new firmware, really. It's been really quiet lately. I think they're waiting for the new
This whole quarter
S's.
has been pretty... Nothing huge has come out. We saw at the end of December last year, we had the holiday release, and and it was supposed to be double fire or whatever. And it had a few new things, but there really hasn't been a lot of new stuff released so far in 2021, and just a lot of bug fixes. So we're hoping that means that they're working hard on that V11, which we saw in that video earlier, and hopefully we'll be getting that in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and I think that might be some of what is causing delays in the S's.
Could be a software issue.
It could be some software. It could be some parts. It just, for some reason, there's just like this part of me that's like, why is the whole refresh taking 3 months?
Yeah.
When originally Elon said they would just be down for like 18 days.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a combination, like you said, parts,
Yes.
and as we've seen in some of the pictures, they're not completely built. But also I think it's a software issue, especially if they are trying to get that yoke steering working. That's going to be like an adaptive steering versus a regular steering wheel. So they've got to have, definitely new software for that. So it might be another reason why cars might be initially delivered with a steering wheel instead of a yoke.
Yeah. And kind of on that, talking about Tesla's numbers a little bit, I don't know how this quarter is going to look. A lot of people have been asking about the stock price. What's the deal with that? It's kind of been...
Hasn't been the best month.
A little bit of a downer of a month. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it had record high.
Yeah.
And then it went down a lot. But then we had the biggest day ever with over $100 one day. And then it just kind of keeps sliding down. So
Exactly.
it remains to be seen. I'm not expecting amazing results because they haven't had any S or X deliveries. But you never know. China might really pull it out with their... Model 3 and Model Y deliveries there.
Yeah, and so there's actually this article on Testamadian, and from RBC Capital Markets, they published a preview of Tesla's Q1 2021 deliveries, according to which the company could deliver almost 170,000 cars, which would be an absolute record for a quarter one of any year. So
is that just for China or is that for...
That's Tesla in general.
Okay.
So all in all, like,
still not bad.
That's really good considering like the S and X lines have been down.
Yeah.
Although S and X have only been accounting for like 15, 20,000
It's
a
a
quarter.
much smaller percentage, but to me it just kind of looks bad that they haven't really delivered any S and X in almost 3 months.
It does look pretty bad. And
any
to be honest,
newly built ones.
Those cars have always been their higher margin cars. So I wonder if that's going to possibly have any kind of effect on their earnings and everything.
Yeah.
But if they can do 170,000 deliveries in a quarter, that's pretty darn impressive. So I think if that's the case, then maybe we'll see an uptick in the stock. But I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Hopefully they tweet something out, or there's some leaked emails from Elon about deliveries or something. But it would be kind of nice to know where we're at with that. And then I guess we'll go ahead and finish it off with some solar.
Yeah, solar it wasn't the best week. It was kind of a gloomy week in Colorado in more ways than one. As you've seen, Colorado's been in the news a lot this past week. But we did have a really good day. I think it was Friday. We had 122 kilowatt hours generated, so almost a perfect day. And for the week, though, we only generated 362, so we got almost a third of that on one day. So that averaged out to only like 51.7 kilowatt hours per day for the week, but not the best. We had, basically we had a lot of snow, a lot of small snowstorms, and a lot of overcast. It's good we're still able to get some solar, but it's way down from when we're generating that 120 or more kilowatt hours. So not the best, but for the year we're still. We thought by the end of March we would be like having a surplus already, but we're still right below it. If you go to the next graph, so yeah, that just shows the 362 and. Yeah, and so our offset actually went down since we used more than we sent back to the grid this week. So we're at 84%. We were hoping that would be hitting 100% so far for the year, but 84%. But April will be better. Hopefully, a little more sunshine, less snow, and hopefully we'll be 100% here soon.
Yeah, but we did end last year with like 120.
Yeah, it was great because we had
130%.
We had something
offset.
over 4,000 kilowatt hours in surplus. So we're gonna get it. It's just, and we had a new transformer put in and some other hardware changes. So definitely this year should be our best year yet for solar. Yeah. And we're finally going to do it. We counted out the days. Coming up in April will be our 1,000 days of solar. So we're going to be putting that update on our solar history within the next month.
Woo woo. So that should be fun. But
So,
yeah,
but
so
if you have
far,
any questions,
super
definitely
happy.
send them to us, and
Yeah.
we can maybe include those in the video.
Yeah, super happy with our solar. And actually, we were kind of playing around with it the other day, and we're looking at solar roofs just for fun.
Yeah, that's
And the solar roof price, if you guys haven't looked at it
crazy.
recently,
It's gotten way cheaper.
look at it, because it is almost halved price from
Yeah.
when we were originally thinking about it way back in the day.
Yeah, basically,
it's gotten a lot more affordable.
About 3 years ago was when we started the process to put solar in on our roof, and at the time, solar roof was still very new, wasn't in every state, it wasn't starting in Colorado, but it would have cost way more, like almost twice the price to put in solar roof versus solar panels. That would also include, replacing or putting in a new roof. So you take that into mind. But at the time, there would have been the payback period would have been close to 25, 30 years, and it wasn't really the best economic decision. Since then, the price of solar has dropped over 30, 35%. And now we've seen the same thing with the solar roof. And basically, for now, maybe just a couple thousand more than what we paid to put in our solar, we could have now gotten a solar roof, which again would have replaced our roof. So it's a little disappointing. We missed out on that. Being on the bleeding edge, we had to pay more expensive prices. But they have also made some changes though, which is I think helping bring the cost of the solar roof down. Now, previously, they were putting in like blank glass panels where you weren't getting in solar panels because the entire roof isn't covered with solar shingles, and so they had like blank pieces of glass. But it looks like they're going to start using more steel roofing panels, which can definitely bring the cost down.
Yeah, some people got sent emails and it said like, and an update has been done to the panels, and now anything that's not solar producing is like considered a steel panel, and it says it looks exactly the same. But hopefully
I've seen some
reduces
pictures.
The price.
The color's really close. You can see like the shininess is slightly different. It still looks really nice, and you can see along the edges of the roof where they've been using steel, but now they're going to just use steel a lot more throughout it. So it's nice, but I mean, I really wish we could have gotten the solar roof. But the thing is, our solar is going to be good for like the next 20, 25 years. So we're not going to just rip it off and go install a solar roof.
Right.
We're going to stick with our panels, but we'll be jealous of anybody who is able to go ahead and get those solar roofs put in.
Definitely. Looking at a couple of things real quick. Roger said he tried ordering solar roof last week. Still says not available in his area.
Still limited
Starlink,
areas,
however, is.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty
Yeah, 'cause
awesome. You'll
up
have to
north,
let us know how that is. And then TM3 Tech said, still can't get a response from my project manager. Doesn't respond to email and voicemail box is full. Email me the emails down below, and I can forward that on to some of my project advisors that I've had at Tesla for solar and see if I can't help you out there, because that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So just let me know. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the news as well as our solar update. So if you guys have anything that you want to talk about or any questions, we can go ahead and jump right into those. One thing that we kind of wanted to mention, because it's kind of cool, but it doesn't really flow with Tesla too much, is Rivian Level 2 chargers are going to be installed at all Colorado parks coming up.
Every single state park.
Pretty interesting, to be honest. That's a lot of... We have a lot of parks here.
And since these are level 2 chargers, that means they're going to be like the J1772 adapter. So Teslas and all EVs will be able to use those. And they're just going to be in kind of remote locations. Some of those parks are way out there. And there's not necessarily a city or town nearby. So it's great that they're going to be doing those. And as we talked about a month ago, when we heard that Rivian was expanding and putting in level 3 chargers, I thought it doesn't make sense to put level 3 in a park out in the middle of nowhere. It makes more sense to have level 2, because if you're going to a park, you're not going to be there for half an hour. You're going to go and get out of your car and want to go hiking or fishing or do something else for several hours, and that's where level 2 makes sense. There might still be the need for a limited number of places where you do want level 3, but getting those transmission lines in there might be an issue.
Exactly. Pierre, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really
again,
appreciate
Pierre.
that. Said, what's the cost of replacing black seats with white, just the front? So the Model 3, if you get OEM seats direct from Tesla, they're like $4,000 or $5,000 for the front 2 seats.
But
if you can find it from a totaled car, you can save a lot of money, but you got to be really careful though, because seats from a totaled car sometimes have issues. You just need to be careful. But you can do that.
And so what's he looking for? Because is he looking for S or 3 or what?
He doesn't say.
Because
what are you looking
we
for?
do have a couple of white seats.
Well, we can't sell those.
Not yet, but we do.
We
have a
might
couple
not be able to. It really depends. But anywho, They are expensive through Tesla, but they'll fit because they'll install them. You will probably need a software update though to make sure everything is kind of
for
on
your
the
seats,
same.
you need software.
Yeah, for everything to work correctly. Oh, he said Model S. I think Model S is
we don't have
slightly cheaper.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Was it like 1,500 each or something like that, or
I think it was like 2,000 each.
About,
and
yeah.
Model 3 and Y, I think were like 2,500, if I recall correctly. But you could, just look for like a totaled car. Just be careful and make sure the seats are in good condition. That's the biggest thing. Let's see. Tommy said, do you think the refresh Model S will be made in Berlin for Europe? Delivery is late 2021, which would be in line with Berlin opening
That's what
to produce cars.
I'm wondering about
I mean,
that.
it could
I
be.
heard, how they have that other factory where they're like Tilburg, where they're like assembling them?
Uh-huh.
I heard somewhere that they were shutting that down. And
Oh.
so if they're shutting that down, it was used to reassemble.
The ones they
would
shipped
install
over,
the
yeah.
batteries in the S and the X, so they had to do some sort of like manufacturing there, so to avoid taxes or something, or import tariffs or something like that. So basically, import duties, whatever. And so somebody said that they were shutting Tilburg down. I haven't confirmed that yet. I only heard in one place, but I could see that if they are opening up the Gigafactory, maybe they will be building those there. But again, the S and X models are so small, I could see them still building them in the U.S. only for years to come, and then maybe eventually transition it over there. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't know. Oh, I accidentally hit the confetti button. It makes sense for them to do that. So hopefully they do. JV Tech Review said, when should I get version 11 update for my 2020 Tesla X Long Range Plus? Good question.
Everybody's waiting.
It'll probably be
Q2.
yeah, hopefully. My guess would be after Model X is delivered with it.
Well, he's talking about the Long Range Plus. It's already out there. So there's already.
Yeah, but normally, I would think they're gonna keep it, because building it on a whole new platform is what they're focused probably on right now, and then making it work on previous platforms.
Oh, you're saying maybe they're focusing on the new S and X.
Exactly.
It remains to be seen. But
that would be my guess. Is the new S and X's are going to be delivered with that, and then they'll slowly kind of roll it out to previous years as everything kind of is like vetted and made sure it works.
Yeah. So I'm hoping April or May. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Kevin Snow, he's a local. Said, do you think Tesla will take over the other building at Littleton where Porsche Jag moved out of?
We just talked about that.
Body shop.
Like a couple hours ago, we were there and we saw they had the fence up there, and we remember when we were talking about the grand opening when Tesla first moved into that location a few years back, and we're like, wow, they could expand over there.
They do have the body shop in Denver now, but to be honest, why not they could buy that building and the next building over and literally have one Tesla row, furniture row, but for Teslas.
One thing we did notice today too, they do have two buildings at the Littleton one, and we noticed that it looks like they're actually using that second building now, the smaller one, which they originally were using it for detailing, but also for deliveries when they had much fewer deliveries, lower volume. It looks like they're using that as a service center now too, so that added at least another 6 service bays, maybe more, so they can service a lot more cars there at the Littleton location.
Yeah, but overall, the cars at that location were pretty slim, even cars for service. So, good sign, I think. Hopefully, it's a good quarter. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Where was I? Wow. Okay. Sorry, just jumped. Let's see. After reaching out to Tesla's customer service about order of the Plaid Plus and the price difference, I will continue to pay the price, but I put for my deposit. Now they told me same order. Okay.
Yeah, because we were talking about last week.
We weren't sure what they were going to do with that.
Yeah, but when they raised the price, 10,000, we thought they raised the price. But we're probably, again, we do still have that reservation. We haven't canceled it yet, but we're going to cancel the reservation we have for the Plaid Plus S.
Yeah. Stephen Lawrence said, sell your Model 3 Performance yet? Me interested. I have not. It seems like a lot of people want to trade me for a Tesla they already have. But unfortunately, I'm getting rid of it so that I can bring in a refreshed Model S or X, whatever shows up. I don't know. So it is still available. If you're interested, my email's down below. It's admin@teslainventory.com.
And kids, if you want your parents to buy you Tesla, just gotta hype it up, tell them how great it is, and tell them you need that Tesla for your.
I've had several people email me that were like saying they were talking to their parents because their parents were going to buy them a Tesla, and I was just like, okay, Mom, how's it going?
That would be a great. It would be a great car, but I don't think this would make the best first car for someone learning to drive. It's a race car. The three that we have.
It's an amazing car, but it's still something like you just got to be careful because you can go very, very fast in that car.
Yeah.
So yeah, Steven, if you're interested, definitely shoot me an email.
So there's a Mando X Games has a super chat there.
Hasn't shown up yet.
Okay.
It'll show up in just a sec.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Steve said Cybertruck no handles. Thoughts? I dig that. I don't want to deal with handles on a car anymore.
I thought the
Cybertruck. Elon tweeted
not at
about
all.
it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He tweeted about that this week, and I think no handles is great because it takes care of a lot of potential issues Tesla's had in the past, like the Model S door handles.
I think it would eliminate some issues, but maybe cause a couple more.
Maybe.
So hopefully they could program.
As long as they have a strong enough
solutions.
motor to be able to push the door open so you can grab it, because if it's frozen,
yeah,
you need that motor to kick
some
it
places
out.
you could have a sheet of ice covering
Yeah.
the door, and you need it to still be able to open it. If you had the handle, you could yank it out and use help assist it.
Yeah. Mondo X Games, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, ordered some good stuff from Abstract Ocean using your discount code. Thanks, guys. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody who has been showing Abstract Ocean some love.
Yeah, they had a big
really
sale.
Appreciate that.
Big sale last week.
Yes, I'm trying to find where...
Oh, the Abstract Ocean. But yeah,
there it is.
And that's something you were tweeting about last week, is
Yes.
that basically Tesla has been contacting all accessories resellers and stuff, and contacting them, telling them to cease and desist in using the Tesla logo on their merchandise.
Yeah.
And that's we can understand that they need to protect their copyright and their trademark, but it doesn't sound like they're interested in licensing that. And it's it would be nice if they had some officially licensed accessories, and they don't need to make them themselves. They can definitely save money, but they can make money by having these other companies do that. But
yeah, it is definitely kind of a bummer. Not gonna. Oh wow, we got more confetti. I forgot to hit that. It is kind of a bummer, 100%. But maybe Tesla will eventually change their tune. If you are a fan of any kind of aftermarket accessory that does this, by all means, there's a bunch of people that were tweeting about it, ourselves included, Abstract Ocean, last week or a couple weeks ago. Definitely go retweet and like those on Twitter, and that maybe we'll get Elon's attention from that. I think it's kind of sad that they can't even sell the vinyl stickers that went over some of the chrome emblems, because it's not like they're making the logo, they're they're adding something. I don't know. Whatever it is, I think it's kind of a little bit much, but here we are. But thank you for the super chat as well as the support of Abstract Ocean. Really appreciate that. Let's see. I keep hearing myself from back there. That's chirpy.
It's very low.
I'm let's see. A bunch of people talking about speeding in Montana. Am I catching that right, Roger? I don't know. You can fill me in.
I know you can go really
Basically,
fast.
that there was not a speed limit in Montana.
It's pretty high.
I remember hearing about that way back in the day, and then somebody was like, "Nah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Don't do that."
But I think it's a lot higher during the day too. I don't know. It's been a while since I've driven in Montana. It's probably been 6 years. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone said, based on Elon's tweet, could we see an Apple-Tesla merger? That would be insane.
If he says they're going to
blow my mind.
Yeah, I don't think so though, because when he said we're going to be bigger than Apple, I don't think that. I mean, I guess that'd be one way, because if you merge with them or bought them or something, you would take over, then you would be bigger than them. But I don't see them merging with.
Question though.
Apple.
So we're team Android. We got Androids.
Android.
If Tesla was bought by Apple, they merged, what have you, would you consider getting an iPhone?
I know. I think I'd still be Team Android. It's just too locked down. I mean, remember iPhones? You couldn't even delete files off of them.
So they have updated a lot of this.
Yeah, but it's just why lock it down so you can't delete a file off your phone?
But that was old Apple.
Maybe
they have changed a lot.
But also, it's with Apple. It's I know they have a of cool features. But, they come out with wireless charging, and we're like, oh yeah,
Oh,
we
true
had that. We had that in Android 5 years ago.
Yeah. Some stuff like that. But I will say they have come a long way in terms of like being able to modify stuff. But I don't know. It would be interesting though if Tesla and Apple merged. Wow.
I don't know. I don't see that happening.
I mean, Apple abandon their car plan?
But then they brought it back. They did talk about again that they're talking about it again. So they are working on some sort of like.
Are they talking about it because Tesla?
I don't know.
That would be interesting though. Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, I used to love Apple back in the day, back in like junior high and high school and stuff like that. My first computers were all Apples, but since Android's out, I've been very pleased with that.
We're not gonna date you, are we?
I think some schools still use Apples. I don't
really?
know. But I still have like an Apple II GS. If anybody knows, I don't use it. I don't use it.
It's in a box. Don't worry.
It's in a box. It's in our computer museum. But yeah.
Jim said, "I wonder if Tilburg would be turned into a repair facility." That would be interesting too.
I just wonder because you got to have a lot of people there, and I can imagine that they don't want to. I mean, not that they could employ everybody as for repairs that used to do assembly, because assembly is probably pretty straightforward. You just take the batteries, dig it in, and do a few other things to customize it for Europe. But I don't know.
Yeah. WOFS Media was asking any long-range rear-wheel drive Y updates. Unfortunately, I don't know if the people that were kind of working near that are with the company anymore because I haven't heard anything from them. They said there were some files that Tesla submitted about its range on Thursday. A few people picked up on that. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't work towards bringing that out if they were submitting the files. So that's a step in the right direction.
And I can't remember if it was long range or the like standard range Y, but I heard that they were saying that they were only going to be making, they were only going to fill orders that were already in existing stock. I can't remember which model it was, but it's like they're not going to be making any more, at least not at this time.
Interesting. Let's see. Marcus said, we got that about his plaid. Let's see. Wow, okay. Sorry, gotta get rid of
somebody,
some
Jeff
people.
Ball says Apple is going to be partnering with Kia and Foxconn to produce their new car.
I thought there was original news about that, and then Kia got called, or Apple was like, no, we didn't want that out, and pulled out of the
probably
deal.
Maybe they just didn't want it known, but
Apple and Kia?
It's a little different ends of the spectrum, right?
I would say. I mean, nothing against Kia. What was that
they
Kia
look
that
nice.
I saw
I don't
recently?
know, but we saw the Kia and the Hyundai.
Let me look up that Kia, because there was a Kia I saw
EVs
recently.
that really look nice.
Yeah, I don't think it's a EV yet. Maybe it was. I don't know. But there was a Kia I saw recently and was like, that actually kind of looked nice. I'll have to look it up in a minute. But, I mean, interesting if Kia and Apple did their thing.
So Stephen Lawrence was asking if we got FSB beta yet. No, if we get it, you will know. Everyone will know if we get it. But no, we were very disappointed we weren't in that next 1,000. But we're watching, waiting, hoping that we will be in the next group of 8,000 or whatever if that group ever comes. And we'd mentioned a few weeks back how they said they're going to be adding a button so you'll be able to download it. I still don't think that's going to happen. If it does, we'll be happy. But I don't think that button's coming.
Yeah. Real quick. John, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, I've been buying some Tesla polo shirts on eBay at their stateside, and there's for sale black polos with a Tesla logo on the shirt. Yeah, so anyone who's like making shirts or anything with Tesla logos or words on it, Tesla's going after them.
Yeah. Well, there are some like real Tesla stuff.
There are
that
some
people,
real ones on eBay.
Buy or get as a gift,
You
and
bet.
like it doesn't fit, and so they resell it. But yeah, if somebody's making stuff that they're selling a ton of, that I don't know where they're getting them.
Yeah, I'm curious, like,
unless they fell off the back of a truck.
Yeah, huge thanks though for the $5, John. I do really appreciate that. I am curious though, is like how Tesla gonna go after like all the sellers on like Amazon and everything, and how are they gonna regulate that for like Chinese sellers
or Alibaba and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
because a lot
one.
of those the company shows up, and if they shut them down, then they'll come up with a new name the next week.
Yeah.
So and we've seen other companies. Just totally ripping off the Tesla trademark and coming out with all sorts of things that are totally fake Tesla gear, and it remains to be seen how Tesla will deal with them.
Yeah. Let's see. Diego said, I wonder if the Cybertruck will open like the new Roadster. That would be cool. Kind of like you just swipe it and the door pops out a little bit. I'm into that.
Oh, somebody said it was the Kia Stinger. A couple people have said.
I've actually been in the Kia Stinger. It was at I'm sorry, I'm looking at it here. The Stinger was at
that's not the SUV one though.
No, like that's like kind of their sportier car. But when I was at SEMA,
okay, like
it was there, and I did like a
right?
little test ride, and they were like drifting with me in like the front seat. It was kind of fun. Who doesn't love a good drift? But yeah, I think it might have been the not the Sorrento, the Telluride, I think is what it was. And I didn't think it looked terrible. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but the commercial made it look pretty good. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Who got into Tesla first?
I don't know. Mine. I mean, I've been interested at least 2013, 2014.
Yeah, I really liked the Roadster.
I
at the time,
I didn't really know much
couldn't.
about the Roadster. So you might have been, but we didn't really talk about Tesla back in the Roadster days.
Yeah.
But when I started seeing like the early Model S's, especially with Bjorn in Norway, I used to watch those videos and dream. But back then, Tesla was way out of my price range. But then when they came out with the S70, it was a lot more affordable. Then they came out with the 60. And then I ended up shopping and saving up my money and ended up getting the 90. We both ordered the S90D on the same day back in April of 2016. So
yeah,
I mean, coming up on 5 years already since we made that order. Wow.
Yeah, so, I always really liked the original Roadster, but again, at the time, didn't make any sense because it's not a car you can drive all the time here in Colorado, nor Seattle, to be honest. But yeah, I think it kind of just came when I got a hybrid. After a year or so with the hybrid, I was like, hey, like maybe I should just go electric. And yeah, then we kind of looked at it from there.
So a couple people are saying it's the EV6 for Kia. So
EV6?
Might need, Google it if it's not on. I don't know if it's on their main website yet.
EV6.
It might be in.
No, it's not on their website yet.
Just Google it.
Yeah. Let me just EV6 this. No result. Okay. Well, I'll look this up. We will deal with a couple other questions in the meantime.
Okay. Well, I see Jay Plays Games for Days is saying, would you consider having an electric car is easier than a gas car? I say yes. 99%, 100% yes.
Yeah,
We have owned 12 Teslas over the last almost 5 years, and we have paid virtually nothing in service. We haven't had any breakdowns or anything. The only time we had to pay for service was about $310 we had, and that was because it was out of warranty, and it was because a rodent chewed on the wiring harness when the vehicle was parked out at the airport. Other than that, we don't have anything. No oil changes.
We have to we have to pay for windshield wipers and windshield wiper fluid.
That's about it.
This is unacceptable to me.
And tires. I mean, but you're gonna have to do that on any car. But no oil changes and get the gaskets done or this or that. Nothing. I mean, no timing belts replacement. Nothing.
Yeah. But I think honestly that rodent situation we probably would have had to pay for even in warranty. I don't think they covered that.
It wasn't responsible for that. But also the cool thing that we totally love about electric cars is you can charge them at home. I haven't been to a gas station in 4 years. I still kept my gas car for a couple months after buying my Tesla just because I wanted to hit 20 years on owning that car. But after I sold it, I have not been to a gas station in over 4 years. And it's just nice being able to come home, charge it whenever you need, and the superchargers when you're on a road trip.
Yeah. I found this Kia EV6 thing. It's first dedicated EV. It is actually on Kia's website, so it's legit. But there's this little snapshot here.
I've seen other pictures though that show the whole car, so I don't know why they're still hiding it on their
So this came
website.
out March 9th. Here's the kind of the back lights.
It definitely looks like a nice car. And
it looks like a 2-door though.
Oh, really?
Or wait, maybe it's a 4-door. Maybe there's a line.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm not necessarily opposed to EVs as long as they're worthwhile, they're priced right, and they offer good tech and range and all that. I'm in. Let's see. Paul said Tesla needs to be more transparent with S delivery. Something is not right. Thank you, Paul. I couldn't agree more. Something is weird. with this whole refresh thing. We still haven't had the refresh call. We haven't heard anything. Why? I'm just confused as to why Tesla would discontinue the previous models if the refresh wasn't ready.
I think
unless they ran out of parts, the refresh wasn't ready, and they couldn't order more parts. And it's just, I
think they thought they were going to be ready, but maybe one of the manufacturers of some of the accessories, like the interior or something, like the panels, the decor or something like that, or like we were talking about with the yoke, like maybe they were 90% ready, but you can't sell 90% of a car.
Yeah.
So those, just because of those few holdups, it's holding things up a long time.
I did hear, and again, I have no idea if this is legit or not, but that they were trying to chase down some squeaks and rattles in the dash. And maybe some of those panels aren't 100% and they had to be retooled. Tooling takes time. It takes money, but Tesla doesn't care about that right now. But it does still take time. If you want something, you can throw $1 million at it today, but it doesn't mean it's going to be ready tomorrow. It does take time. So I don't know, but it is still fishy to me.
So it's, Megan Reeves is saying, how many cars do we have? Currently, so I did mention we've bought 12 Teslas over the past 5 years. We currently have 4 Teslas. We have a 2017 S100D, 2017 S75D, a 2018 Model 3 Performance, and a 2020 Model Y Performance. But we are looking to sell at least the Model 3 Performance and maybe one of the other Model S's as well.
Yeah.
Because there's only room in the garage for 4 cars, so if we're gonna,
we're running out of room.
We're gonna need a
new garage.
Well, not with all the work we've put in on it. We need to make room in the current garage.
Yeah. Let's see. Pierre said some rumors that Tesla will open up Supercharger network. What do you think?
I've heard
a lot about that, and it seems a lot of people are kind of running with misinformation or not accurate information, saying that Tesla's just going to open it willy-nilly for anyone to use. And while they have been very open and said others are welcome to use the Supercharger network, there is always that caveat, though.
They have to pay.
You have to pay to help build it out. And so it's like, if Tesla merged, I don't want to say merged, went in like a joint venture so another company could use its Supercharger network, let's use Aptera as a good example. Aptera would be responsible for increasing the Supercharger network footprint as well as Tesla. So it's not like Tesla's just giving people access willy-nilly to use it but not expand it.
I don't see them opening it up to Ford and Kia and Hyundai and all those. But for Aptera or something like that, they would see like, Aptera's going to sell
a couple thousand cars,
and we're going to sell 400,000 or something. Then they're going to divide that out and say, okay, Aptera has to pay this much of a percentage towards the Supercharger network. And so that's how I could see it. But I don't think, unless they're legally required, because even as we've seen in Europe, where they've started, they switched all the V3s and they all have like CCS adapter, totally different port there in Europe, and those are built into the 3 that will be on the Y, but the S and X still have to use a little CCS port that they can use to use those superchargers there. But basically, those, while they have the same CCS port as other electric cars in Europe, those other cars, for the most part, aren't able to use the Supercharger network. There have been occasions when cars plugged in and it worked, but then that was quickly rectified.
Yes, very quickly. I think one of it was a Karma. That was a big one that somebody took the innards of.
Well, that's different. I mean,
I think that one was discontinued because they took a totaled Tesla, put that into the Karma.
That's basically still a Tesla as far as Tesla.
But they were kicked off because it was a totaled car.
They figured it out, yeah.
So stuff like that. But there are ways around it that people have done.
But also, though, in Europe, there was a thing a few months back where like the BMW can plug in and it was actually working. But that's because there was like a software issue on the Supercharger network that basically made it so that anybody could charge. And then over the weekend, a few people found out and they were posting videos on it. After that, they locked it down. So while it's technically possible, it's locked down via software for now, and I don't see them opening it up to others unless they're going to pay. And even if they're required, because there are requirements. We'll see. Because I still really am hoping that Tesla comes out with a CCS port adapter in the United States, because while the Tesla Supercharger network is still great, there are some places where there isn't as much coverage, and a CCS adapter would help out.
Yeah, definitely. Rob Stack, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, will rider release of FSD beta result in price increase for FSD? Elon has always said valuation of FSD is much higher than its selling price. Potentially, but to be honest, 10K is already a pretty big selling point. And I know I've seen it in chat a couple times. I just haven't gotten to those yet. A lot of people are asking, what's up with the FSD subscription? And a lot of us have assumed that that's going to be coming with V11 because that needs to kind of be baked into the software. But as in terms of FSD beta, I could see them jumping up the price, but at what point can they jump it up to where it's just like no one's ever going to buy it?
Yeah, because I mean, 10,000 it's a huge increase, especially if you're only spending like 40,000 on the car. 10,000 is a big chunk of change.
Yeah,
and I liked it better in the past. We've talked about it, but when they came out with enhanced autopilot and full self-driving packages, it was a little more affordable because then you could kind of pick and choose. Like, I just want, on some of the cars, we only bought the enhanced autopilot because that's all we needed. And then we're like, okay, we can save up, and if full self-driving comes out in a few years, then we can buy it. But it was a $5,000 price and then a $3,000 price at the time. But they have started offering that enhanced autopilot in like China and Europe, but they never brought it back to the United States. And I think it would be better if they had it cheaper. It's easier to spend $5,000 than $10,000.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is getting very
because even once they come out with it and it's amazing and it drives itself, it's still $10,000, and it's like, well, if you've already paid the $5,000, it's a lot easier to just pay $5,000 more.
Yeah.
Than to pay $10,000 all at once.
Yeah. Speaking, thank you though so much for the $5, Rob. I really appreciate that. He did actually ask also, can I get a Monroney?
Mulroney, yeah.
Sorry, I always mispronounce that. Windows sticker for my new Tesla. Yes, if you contact Tesla, they can send you a copy of it.
He should have had one in there, but
sometimes they don't always make it in there.
And then we've always seen them too, where they've corrected them, like while we're there. Like I think one car we had two of them. Like they had to update it, so they are able to print those out.
Yep.
I saw somebody was asking, 209 John was asking if Colorado still has a 5K EV rebate, and can you only use it one time? Because in California, he bought two EVs in consecutive years, and they would not give him the state rebate on the second one. In Colorado, the rebate has gone down. At one time, it was $6,000, it dropped to $5,000. It keeps going down. Now I think it's only $2,500, but there's no limit. And we've taken that on every single car we've bought in Colorado, over the last 5 years. So it's definitely going down. So it's not as good as it used to be. But we're hoping the federal tax credit comes back. But yeah, that's unfortunate that California's restrictive like that. Another thing in Colorado is you don't have to keep the car for a period of time. You're not supposed to buy the car and immediately resell it, but we have, there's no restriction. I know in California, if you, at least with some of the rebates there, if you bought it and you sold it shortly thereafter, you had to pay part of that back. So we've never have to worry about that here.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of Team Apple folks and a lot of people including Abstract Ocean.
I saw that, yes.
Said 70% of Tesla owners use Apple.
Yeah.
I mean...
Another thing, too, though, is that Apple's really big in the United States.
Yeah.
Other countries, Android is far bigger than Apple. So it's just like, if Tesla is a global market, they still have to support both.
Yeah. Maybe eventually. I do have an iPad because that's the only thing I could get to work with my... track device to monitor speeds and everything, but I don't really use it too much. I've gone on a few calls on, iMessage calls. iMessage, is that a thing? iChat, I don't know. Wow. I gotta just shut up. I
just like how with Android there's more than one manufacturer, so you can shop around for different devices and different prices.
Yeah. Let's see, where were we? Somebody said the first rule of an Apple collaboration is you don't talk about Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I saw some people saying that Tim Cook doesn't pay for anything, so a merger is very unlikely. And I think that's a big thing with Tim, is he's a lot more reserved. I don't know how I feel about that. Because you got to take risks. And Apple has the money. Let's be real. They have plenty of money.
Yeah.
I read something that was like how much money they actually have, and it's just a insane, stupid amount. Let's see. Chris said you should start selling molds to make second Tesla Superchargers. I mean, we get hit real quick with that cease and desist.
Oh yeah. If they're gonna go off a little piece of vinyl this big, they're gonna go off something. If you were to sell a mold of a Supercharger,
I will say though, Some people have offered, so this is the real one, but the one in the garage, that's just the mold. Some people have offered me like 10 to 12 grand for one of those.
Yeah, there was wasn't a gas station chain or something in some other country. Didn't they say they wanted
they emailed me and
they
wanted
to
buy
put
a bunch.
them in and just for decoration because they want, and because some places I've been to like car rest stops and stuff like that or truck stops, they have like all sorts of old car memorabilia and old gas pumps and stuff, and they wanted to have like supercharger pumps as decor in their gas stations.
I mean, thinking about it, how quick do you think that cease and desist would arrive?
Pretty quickly, I'm sure.
Pretty quick.
I saw somebody else.
It would be pretty funny.
Somebody else was asking about other kinds of molds, but I won't bring that up.
Nope. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yep. Found it. Let's see.
Sorry.
Wow. Oh God. No, I can't not see it. Let's see. JV Tech Reviews. Said, on my 2020 Tesla Model X Long Range Plus, I only have autopilot, not FSD for $10K. Is it really worth it? And will the price most likely go up in the future? It's been going up so far, so I imagine it would go up in the future. But normally he tweets out for the next month before it goes up.
Usually, but yeah.
And honestly, if you haven't bought it yet, I would probably wait until there's a little bit more caked into it.
Yeah, baked in.
Yeah, baked in. More like FSD beta.
It's got to be. And also, I would say too, I don't know. I would say wait if you can because it's not there yet. We're not even getting the FSD. We bought it on so many cars. We don't have FSD yet. All the function we have is basically enhanced autopilot. And we've spent a lot of money over the years. We could have saved a lot of money. We probably could have bought another Model Y Performance with what we've spent on full self-driving, and we still don't have full self-driving.
Yeah.
So I would say if you don't need it, wait for it. It might cost you another $1,000 or $2,000 more, but wait until it's actual product. Yeah. Or until they come out with that subscription, because that's what we're looking at with our next SNX. Maybe we'll get the subscription if they ever offer it, because then we could save $10,000. And especially if you are going to keep the car longer term, it does make sense to buy it. But if you're only going to keep it for a couple of years, then that $10,000 is pretty much. Especially if you could rent it for a lot less. Yeah.
Mondo X Games, thank you for another $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. I said, do you guys think because of the testing of the Tesla Semi in Fremont, cool videos on the track, by the way, related to the delays with the refresh S and X? I mean, I imagine they have separate teams working on the Semi.
Yeah.
And when we saw those videos, it looked like they were taking media shots because there seemed to be a Model Y with at least one cameraman in it that the Semi was trailing. So I think those were mainly for media shots and stuff like that. But I think Semi, they're supposed to deliver some to Pepsi this year. Yeah. So that'll be kind of fun. And I think I definitely know it's a different team than the Refresh S and X, but I don't know how much carryover there may or may not be. That's the big thing. There might be some more than we originally think.
So Ken's 300X batteries and chips are in short supply. The SX had to be sacrificed until this is resolved. And yeah, we have heard that with the microchips and stuff like that. I could see that being it. I think, and also they did say that the new S and X will have different, reformulated batteries. 18650 still that same format, but it's going to have a new battery chemistry to get that bigger range.
Yeah. Victor said, thank you for the 1,000 free supercharging miles, picking up my Model Y
on Tuesday. Yeah, I remember.
Congratulations,
thanks, Victor. Yeah, I'm glad to see you. We saw your name on the...
So, question though.
Do you spell your name with a lowercase v or an uppercase v?
Exactly. Because there's two Victors. One's lowercase, one's uppercase. One ordered 315, one ordered 319. Or did you decide to double down on Model Ys?
Or did he order and cancel, and maybe we'll lose one of the Victors. But congratulations, Victor. We remember talking about you a week or so back. So glad to hear you're getting it.
Diego said, if you have any questions, though, by the way, Victor, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. Diego said, anybody reaching out about the Model 3 for sale, such a sick car? I've actually had a lot of interest in it, but a couple of the people that got really close to buying it, I don't know how to say this super correctly, but their other half said no.
Oh yeah, we've seen that in the past a few times.
We've had that a few times.
It's for wheels when we were selling wheels in the past. And it's I want those wheels so bad, and it's I ran it by my wife. She said I can't buy them.
Yeah, it's not always wives though.
My significant other.
Yeah. And then some people wanted trades, stuff like that. But as of right now, still here. Some people still contemplating on it. Some people, yeah. Let's see.
Ken's, though, again, he did say once you drive a Tesla, everything else is old, polluting technology. Exactly. We have only had Teslas. Once we sold our gas cars, all things that we bought have been Teslas, and I can't think of anything else. We are keeping an eye on the competition, though. Like we said, there's Kia, Hyundai, all these other companies are coming out with new cars, and the thing is that they still don't have that supercharging network that Tesla has. So, yeah.
Yeah. Matthew said you haven't been to a gas station to get a snack. No, but I have been to gas station to buy scratch-off tickets.
Eric, yes, I will admit, he goes to gas station and he buys like lottery tickets, the whole package. No, I don't go to gas stations because typically there's a grocery store there too, and they're open 24 hours a day. But I haven't been to a grocery store. Okay, yesterday I went to the grocery store for the first time in over a year. I didn't buy anything, but first time that I've been to a grocery store in a year. But I'm one of those. I'll be cheap. It's like if there's a gas station and a grocery store, it's like, well, I'll just go to the grocery store because it's going to be cheaper there. But we buy stuff in bulk at Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like we take our own snacks.
Yeah. I don't know how much I can and can't say about a gas station. Oh, you know what? I don't say too much. I don't want to completely ruin things, but there was actually a gas station that was going to sponsor us, and then I don't know what
we should reach out to them because
don't just maybe later, but it was kind of funny. Maybe we'll see it eventually.
A gas
maybe you won't.
Sponsoring us. Wow.
Yeah, maybe you'll see it eventually. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But it was kind of funny. 209 John was saying, "Why do you think Tesla offered or stopped silver paint? Seems everybody really loved it."
Yeah. We were just.
Why don't you talk about that Model 3?
The funny thing is, we saw not just Model 3. We saw 3 silver Teslas today.
The Model 3 silver in the family.
Yeah, so we were driving around town, and we were over in my mom's neighborhood. She recently moved to Colorado, and we saw a silver Model 3, and we couldn't see the license plate just because there was another car, and we were a few lanes over. And so I called my mom really quick and to see. It was not her, but it's rare to see one of those just because they haven't made them since 2018. But we also saw a silver Model S. When we were over at the service center.
And an X.
And then we saw a Model X over someplace else.
Where? What? Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
I remember it was, I don't know, but it was parked on the side of the road, or in a parking lot. But yeah, it's still a nice color. So I think they just removed it because they were trying to reduce, speed up manufacturing, because they used to offer 2 whites, 2 blacks, and a silver, and they got rid of, 1 white, 1 black, and I guess silver at the time was their least chosen color, so they just got rid of it.
But now everybody wants it.
Yeah, because it's rare.
Yeah.
So it's like they should bring it back. I wish that they, I mentioned this a year or so back, I wish they would rotate that free color, because it used to be black was the free color, and then we were paying extra for white, and then they made the pearl white the free color, and now everybody has pearl white. I wish they would, kind of rotate it around, like midnight silver metallic one year, that way it would spread out the fleet. There wouldn't be so many white ones.
Yeah. Let's see. Scroll up just a little bit. Guy said, what do you think about Edmund's latest range test involving Tesla? I think it's a great idea to use the performance when you're going a range test instead of the long range. That makes complete sense to me.
/S sarcasm.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But also, the thing is, they went till the car said 0 miles remaining instead of actually depleting the battery, which can have a big difference. I saw they did some extra testing, in which case some of the models actually met their EPA, some were just shy of it. But I did find that kind of comical in a way. And
for those
not
of you,
sponsored by any other car manufacturer, of course.
But for those of you who don't know, Eric was in that Hypermile event back in 2018 or so.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
They had a long-range Model 3, which had a range at the time of like 300 miles. He and Sean were able to drive that Model 3 over 600, was it 606 miles?
606.2, I think.
Depending on the right conditions and speeds, and nobody would want to drive their car 35 hours straight at 25 miles an hour, but it can be done, and you can get way more than the range that is quoted. But if you drive faster, then it's going to be less than that.
Yeah. Let's see. Where were we?
I'll just say Shawnice Rice said, please, happy birthday. So happy birthday to Shawnice
Happy
Rice.
birthday. Let's see. Chris said maybe parts are stuck on a ship for like the refresh S and X.
Could
Well,
yeah. It could be, but that's more recently. I think. Plus, I think they'd be coming from the other direction.
Probably.
But yeah, it could be. You never know.
It's still funny. Let's see. Yeah, there's been a lot of like microchip shortages and stuff like that. So that wouldn't really surprise me. But I think like there's something to it also that a lot of the refresh S's that we've seen don't have interior dash trims. That's kind of weird. Because if it's just like a chip shortage, there should be no reason that they wouldn't have that trim in there.
Yeah. So, Victor, the one who used the referral code, got his Y's. I was wondering how soon he should get the models because he's expecting to do a trip. So
the models?
The miles, referral miles.
Oh, it'll be there when you pick up the car.
It should be.
Yeah, it should be, especially since it's
he
like...
used the code, that it should be there.
Yeah, since it's already in ours, as soon as you hit, like, accept delivery, it'll jump and you should see it.
Rashid, I think...
Rushi?
No, right, sorry, I can't see because it's gray on black, so it's hard to see in this font. Raid said, Victor, once you accept delivery. So, yeah, you should have them.
Yeah. It should be basically immediately once you hit.
Oh, and Slew Dog's saying, what kind of gas cars did you guys have? What was your last car to go? So,
my last car before Tesla's was actually a hybrid. I had a Ford Fusion hybrid.
Yeah, it was like a 2013.
And it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
It had really good gas mileage.
It did have.
For that large of a car, yeah.
We used that on a lot of road trips. It was great.
Yeah.
And before that, I had some Pontiacs. I had.
You had what was it?
A Nissan.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a Pontiac Vibe and a Pontiac G8 GT.
Yeah.
And a Nissan.
And I had a 1997 Honda CR-V. I had one of the very first Honda CR-Vs when they brought that model to the United States. It was actually built in Japan because they didn't build them in the U.S. at the time. Great car. Only had a few problems with it over the 20 years I owned it. Basically, I could have sold it, but I was holding out. I started saving up when I was like 13 years old. Started saving up for a new car, but I wanted something that would get a lot better gas mileage. And that's when Tesla started, coming out with the Model S, and then waited a few more years. So my car fund kept growing, and no other car. I wanted something that had all-wheel drive that got good gas mileage, and there was nothing that was better because I actually had better on mine. Anyways. I got my Tesla. I still kept that Honda for another 4 months just because I wanted to hit the 20 years of ownership on that car. Sold it to a kid in Kansas for like nothing, and it's still driving around town. My brother still sees it around town.
Yeah. Real quick, Brad, thank you for the $3 super chat. No message. I'll see if you left anything down below, and we'll get to that in just a second. I did see some Tesla guy said watching this live stream eating tacos. Life couldn't be any better.
Tacos.
Can someone tell Scott we want tacos? Tacos.
We usually have tacos on Tuesday.
A lot of people are saying Bjorn actually got COVID.
I saw that.
Yeah, we did see that. Hopefully he gets better.
Somebody else said no, it's because of all that gas station food.
Yeah,
he
I saw
eats,
that
so
too.
Who knows?
But yeah, we actually did get our first vaccine this week. So yay.
That's why I was in the grocery store for the first time in a year.
Yay, it's happening. So yeah, hopefully all is good. Probably not 209 John. Probably not if you're still here.
What was he? What was it?
Yeah.
Because he was asking about a silver Model Y.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
You know. Let's see. Slug Dog said 2 years ago Apple had $200 billion in cash on hand. This was before the company was worth $2 trillion. So yeah, Apple has plenty of money to do whatever they want, whenever they want.
Let me.
What's up?
Nothing. I'm gonna message Scott here.
Oh, okay. For tacos?
Not that.
Oh, damn. Okay. Let's see. Where was that? Lux said they don't have enough GPUs for the backseat computer.
Oh yeah, that little
The gaming computer. GPUs are really hard to come by right now. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I was looking at building a potential new computer, and yeah, it's not easy to get those.
Somebody's asking if they missed the lads. They might. I don't know if they meant Layden and Kit. So maybe we should just try. Cover your ears, everyone. But I'm going to see if the safety patrol shows up.
He's gonna see if safety patrol shows up.
Oh, that's loud. Wow.
That's really
So
loud.
that's our little confetti thing we do every once in a while. But we haven't heard the. So let's see if the safety patrol shows up. Oh.
The
Oh,
safety
I hear
patrol
something.
gonna show
I hear
up?
something.
Safety
Look,
patrol.
it's the safety patrol. They're wearing their.
We really
special-
don't have a life here. Welcome to the Derek
We've
Show.
been, they've been waiting patiently. They're all concerned. But basically, whenever we shoot off that cap gun, they are quite concerned and they come and check it out.
So we got them safety vests for
So-
safety patrol.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kit and Layden. So, yes.
Lol. That's our life basically now. What it's come to.
Okay,
You just wanted to do that. Love it.
that was fun.
Let's see.
okay.
G8GT was one of my dream cars a
okay.
few years back from Roger. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice car. I'm not going to lie. But it got stuck in the snow a lot, and then it was time to just go. I see them occasionally around town, and I'm like, oh, man, kind of miss it. But not in the grand scheme of it. Let's see. Jim said they're keeping their 2 Priuses until a Cybertruck comes out.
Yeah, I can totally understand that.
Yeah.
It's like if it still works, fine. Just
Yeah.
keep it running. And we do talk about, okay, we bought all these cars, but people think, oh, that's kind of wasteful. You're spending money on these new cars. But by us reselling them, that makes it so that other people can afford to get a cheaper car if they can't afford to buy new.
Yep. And I see Brad's message from the $3 super chat. Thanks to you again. He said, when is Tesla going to allow the vehicle to grid, and they could do it with the current vehicles they offer? I don't know about the current vehicles because they might need some extra hardware. In terms of when they're going to offer it, I think they need to cake it in the software.
Bake
so
it.
yeah, I keep saying cake. I guess I really want cake.
I guess. Cake,
I guess
cake.
I really want cake. If they put it in the software, they can make it so that you can't go to a supercharger and power your house every night. Because I can see some people
But
potentially
they are charging.
abusing
Well, the
that.
thing is, they're charging for supercharging now.
Right, but
so it's
if
not
they-
like in the past with old cars.
Yeah.
That had free supercharging.
I don't think they would, even if they could enable it for older S and X's, I don't think they would because of that issue. Now, for newer cars, I guess it depends on the price of energy, though. People could technically supercharge at night when they could supercharge for cheap, and then use it to power their house during the day when it's expensive. They need to find a way to balance that out so people don't abuse the system, because superchargers are meant to power your car so that you can drive it, not so that you can drive it to your house and then power your house.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be
As a
nice.
daily basis.
It would be nice to have in an emergency. The problem is
Yes.
that if there is an emergency and your whole metropolitan area loses power, you're not going to be able to take thousands and thousands of cars down to the supercharger and fill up all your battery. I think it's nice if a single person had an issue or a small
Yeah.
neighborhood, but it's not going to keep the whole city running.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely a cool thing that we're interested, especially because we do have power walls and we have more battery power in our cars than we do have in our power walls. But it would be nice if we were able to use some of that. So maybe with the Cybertruck we'll be seeing that, or the Roadster, because if they're coming out with this new 46
well, the Cybertruck
or
is
the
supposed to
Plaid
have the
Plus.
outlets anyway.
Yeah, and the 4680 cells, maybe those will be those million-mile battery cells. But one thing, too, is I think that I could see them limiting it, as I've said in the past, to people who maybe do have power walls installed, because there's additional hardware and safety concerns you need to have. You can't just bring home and plug it in and power your house, because then if the grid did come back up, you would then be sending power back through the grid. So you need something like
That could hurt linemen.
Yeah, so you need something like a gateway that if you have Powerwall already installed, then it should be able to integrate with those and know that it can pull power from your vehicle, send it to the house, but not send it back to the grid. You don't want that happening.
Yeah. Chris said, since we do our live streams every Sunday, we should call it Live Stream Sundays. Not a bad idea, but we might be doing some Saturdays coming up.
Yeah, and we might throw out a few weird times, because we've done some of them during the week, like when there's another event or something on, and we've had some really good turnouts on some of the weekly ones, or middle of the week ones. But I know some people, by having them at this time, it kind of reduces our European audience, because they are up either really late or really early. And so it'd be nice if we maybe did some other times too. So.
Yeah.
I didn't even fire the gun, and she's in here checking
know,
things out again. So
Are you safety
okay.
patrol?
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Are you safety committee? She's the head of the safety committee, so she's got to make sure everything's on lockdown here, make sure we're all good. Let's see.
Oh, I see.
Scott said he made corned beef and potatoes.
Wait, Scott's upstairs?
Yeah.
What? But I don't eat. beef.
Yeah.
So
How's that gonna work? Sorry, we're talking to our roommate through our live stream chat, and he's literally a floor above us.
that's weird because I don't smell it. But hey, good. I guess you'll enjoy that when you go
That's so
upstairs.
funny.
Seems like he should have made that a couple weeks ago, back around the 17th. But hey.
Better late
Oh,
than
somebody's
never.
saying, who are these guys? Are these Tesla nerds?
Are we here?
Or some high up folks from Tesla?
Both?
Maybe. I don't know. I know we're Tesla nerds, but yeah,
I don't know.
we don't officially work for Tesla.
Yeah. Diego said, "Where's Kit? I want to see the puppy."
Okay, you're gonna see them.
Yeah. No. Why? Why are we seeing
Because
them?
there's a super chat.
Well, they just went outside.
Well, if they're outside, well, I can still do it, but they just.
Okay, go.
Whoa, those are loud.
Those are really loud.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
See, it's so loud they can hear. Oh, see, safety committee.
Thank you, Brad, for the $9.99.
They're like, what's going on? It's okay. It's okay.
Look, they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
So,
They're cute.
You're welcome. Thank you, Brad. Yes.
Thank you so much for the $10, Brad. Really appreciate that. He said, "I do have solar and power walls." Okay.
Cool. And another thing too, when I did say power walls for the vehicle to grid, I could also see if they do ever offer that, maybe they will have a sort of gateway that you can get with the vehicle purchase, so that you don't need power walls. And it would be an extra cost, $1,500, $2,000, something like that. Get it installed, and so that if you do need that functionality, you wouldn't need a power wall, but you would be able to use your car.
Yeah, he did also say he believes Lucid is doing it.
Yep.
And I think I heard that too.
So I think Tesla's going to have an answer for that.
I think they need to do that, but hopefully with the new battery, it'll alleviate any worries of potentially accelerated degradation. Because that's obviously a big concern.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
his little thing's coming off.
he gained a little weight
He's
over
a big boy. He's a big boy.
quarantine, so it's a little tight on him.
It's okay.
It is kind of funny though.
Go get
Layton
the
really
foods.
likes hers. It's kind of like a little cape.
Yeah.
Like a little cape.
Okay.
Let's see. Yes, they are Ridgebacks, Death Shock. We have two of them. They're actually twins from the same litter. I think we were originally looking at just one, and then we were like, yeah, why not get them both? But that's Kit. He's the male, and then Layden's the female right here.
Yeah, they're like
and it's funny.
3.5 years old.
She is the boss of the house. He is a big baby who tries to jump into your arms when he weighs 120 pounds.
Yeah, and she's like 90 pounds, so she's still a big for a Ridgeback, but she looks small next to him, but he's like 120. So.
They're big dog. All they do is run around. Well, they sleep a lot, but when they run, they do laps, and they're kind of like ripped dogs. Let's see. Okay, where was I?
Remember? Oh yeah, somebody's.
Thank you though for the super chat, Brad. Sorry.
Somebody's talking about Under the Dome. Let's see. Oh, it was Roger. He's talking about Under the Dome. I remember that show a few years back.
Under the Dome.
That was the one where.
Is that like Biodome show?
No, it was like a Stephen King one where they wake up and there's like a dome covering their town and they're stuck inside of it. But he said they had a hybrid car there that was like producing electricity or something like that. I remember it. Yeah. That show started out really interesting, but then like it kind of got weird after that. But
yeah.
I always wondered like with like The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, why don't they have Teslas? I mean, yeah, it did start a few years ago.
But they should like throw a solar panel on top and just like
like I mean, you can't charge it out if you're out on excursion, looking for supplies. But if you're parked at Alexandria or something, you could plug it in and charge it up and go out on an excursion. But I don't know.
Michael, thank you so much for the 170.
I think Taiwanese. Yeah.
Currency, really appreciate that. It said, what are we thinking about for Q1 delivery numbers? 150K or more or less? Well, according to I think it was like PBC Capital Market Group, they were saying it could be 170,000. I think 170 is awfully high, in my opinion. I would think more about like 150, maybe 160, but the whole lack of S and X deliveries is a little bit of a concern to me.
Yeah.
In terms of like balance sheet and revenue, not so much as deliveries, but those are the cars that they really get a lot more revenue from.
Yeah.
So I'm very intrigued to hear what happens, and we haven't seen any kind of like fire sale or free supercharging edition this quarter. So maybe that tells me they're well over estimated numbers because they haven't done anything to try to get sales. So I don't know. What do you think?
I have no idea. I'll say I'll say 160. I'll go
160?
right in the middle. I don't know.
I'm going to say 154,000 420.
Is this like, Price is
I
Right,
know.
but you must
Don't overbid.
Yeah.
Because if you overbid, you're done. But yeah, thank you so much for the super chat, Michael. And then James also with the super chat said, "Here's an idea: Tesla can sell an adapter with a chip that can be used for other EVs and charge money for supercharging. Love spending Sunday with you guys." Thank you so much, James.
That's an interesting idea.
But that's actually not a bad idea, and I think
it wouldn't open up to everyone instantly.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was something that they could still generate some income for. I think partnering with Aptera is a good test.
Yeah, start small.
Because Aptera is starting small. I definitely don't see anybody like Ford or BMW or Porsche, however we want to call it, partnering with Tesla, because then that kind of admits Tesla was right all along. I think if anything, it's going to be a newer startup.
I like that idea, but I think that even if they sell the adapter, the manufacturer still has to pay for the supercharger network as well.
Yeah.
To add that, because otherwise, if they just sell that adapter for $500 or $1,000 to the car owner, that's not helping build new superchargers, and it's not enough to help build new superchargers. And as you see, a lot of places in California, they started off small with 6 or 8 superchargers. Now they're building with 50, and they still can't keep up with demand. So there are some rural places where you got superchargers that are not busy, but they definitely need to keep expanding in metro areas.
Yeah. But thank you so much for the $5 as well, James.
So Jim, and a couple of guys, Jim and LA Latino said, "What do we name our Teslas?" And so we're very not too exciting on the names for our Teslas.
Yeah.
Basically, we call it like Derek S and Derek 3 and Derek Y, and they also have the exact same license plates of Derek S, Derek 3, Derek Y.
It's very original.
Yeah, but that way you know exactly which car we're talking about. So I've seen
It's kind of funny.
lots of people have a lot more creative names.
But wait, what are we going to do when the new S comes?
Yeah, well,
Are we going to have Derek S1, Derek S2?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Oh,
no.
God.
Oh, no.
Great. Ruined.
And we could. Oh, never mind. Well,
I guess we need to figure that out.
boy, now we're like, oh no, we don't know.
I know. We don't know. We're on the spot. Good question, though. I guess we need to think about that.
Because plus we'll need the plate. But we could transfer the plate, but then we'd have to get rid of the other S. So I don't know.
Oh, God. So many things to think about now. We didn't even think about any of that. Let's see. Chris said, any updates on touch-sensitive steering wheel? We really haven't seen anyone use the steering wheel in any of the videos.
In one of the videos where the guy was talking about swiping the screen, he was saying that you use the far rightmost. If you pulled up those pictures again, he said you use the far rightmost button to choose like the mode to indicate there before touching the screen. But I don't think that's right, because the far rightmost button is not the one that's used for TAC, at least according to all the pictures.
From the Reddit thread?
Yeah. If you pull up those pictures, the far rightmost button is
Let me find a steering wheel photo, sorry.
It's like the second to the far.
Oh.
There's a bigger one that's closer up, or no, go to the keep.
Oh, it's in
But basically,
technical difficulties.
I don't know. But that's the only thing we've seen. But those buttons that we've seen, they haven't changed order since the first renderings were released like 2 weeks ago. And so, so it remains to be seen. But yeah, if you zoom in on that picture, on the buttons, you can see that. Yeah, there you go.
So this is like your turn signals.
But look right here. There's the TAC button in there.
Oh yeah, the TAC
It's not
button.
illuminated because they don't have it enabled. But the far rightmost button is the microphone button.
Yeah. So it looks like here we have our left turn signal, right turn signal, headlights, which, okay, I kind of like, someone was saying like they have to like go hunt through to find their windshield wipers on Twitter, and I've actually never had any issues with that. And most of the time I just keep my headlights on auto. I don't have any issues with that
wipers.
either. Yeah, and the wipers. So I'm fine with that. And then obviously scroll wheel. And then this is not a horn, according
Don't say
to
that.
some people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna believe that until
I will
get
say
it
though,
confirmed.
there's no horn embossment on here.
But do they currently have
They
a horn?
do.
They all have a horn?
They all have the
Then
embossment.
maybe they changed it. Who knows? They used
but
to also have a Tesla logo.
there
in
is this little horn icon is what's embossed on the current
I just don't
steering
see
wheels.
them relying on that, using the horn that way. Because if some guy pulls in front of you, you only have like a split second. You push the center of the steering wheel. You're not going to be like, oh wait, I have to use my right thumb.
What if the car did auto horn enabling?
It's possible.
Anyway, then here's the little tack icon, which I presume will be lit up once you're actively using it. This looks like windshield wipers, but again, I use auto and I've been fine with it. I wish though they could do auto windshield cleaning.
It might.
Like I want it to spurt out the windshield washer fluid when it thinks it's dirty. That would be nice. And then here you have your microphone. And so we don't know exactly what these scroll wheels will be used for 100% quite yet. Maybe you'll be able to change this background kind of like you can
because it's different. Because the S and X before had different wheels there that didn't like tilt left or right like that.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
But I'm
to
guessing
see.
it's going to be having the cruise, the speed adjustment controls just like on the 3 and the Y.
Yeah. So
And then the volume controls probably for the radio on the left. And then also for distance, when you're on tack. So, I think it'll be fairly similar. But I'm still not convinced there's not going to be a horn underneath this center. But we'll see. If it is, I'll be like, Didn't see that coming.
Let's see. Alan, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, I predict Tesla will eventually offer prepaid charging to other non-Tesla vehicles. It would increase available funds. Yeah, I think the biggest issue is Tesla needs to be able to like vet out their electrical systems to make sure that they are up to par and can handle everything.
That's what we see a lot with
I think that's like the biggest issue.
We've seen with the Electrify America. It's built by like the Volkswagen Auto Group, but it supports a standard, and we'll use the quotes standard. But so many different cars have problems on that, just because while it's a standard for charging, people seem to use like different flavors or something like that, and so it doesn't necessarily work. And you have a lot of people. It's getting better, but over the years, people have to like call in, or you have to try 3 times to get the charging started. Whereas with Tesla, it's only Tesla. They only have a few models, and it just works. Tesla has had a few problems with their superchargers in the past as well, but for the most part, it works. And since kind of like the Apple ecosystem, everybody's praising Apple. It's kind of the same way with Tesla and their.
Wait, are you?
No, I'm just saying that it's the Apple.
Did you just pro Apple?
No, I'm saying that Apple has their own ecosystem. They only build the hardware, so their software, they know it will run unless they, slow the battery down or slow the speed down because of the battery. Oops. But Tesla knows that their cars should work on the Supercharger network, whereas these other ones, they have problems when they go to Electrify America and other networks.
Yeah. But thank you, Alan, for the super chat. Michael also had a $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, so if you have a yoke steering wheel, where will they put the buttons at?
It's the same.
Luckily, like they just kind of cut off the top. So if we look here, you can actually see the buttons are still there. The wheel is pretty much the same, except it's a flat bottom instead of circular. And then it just kind of stops above those buttons right here. So
yeah, same buttons. They're just from the angle that there's a glare or whatever. You can't really see them.
Yeah, I think there's a picture from like the back seat. Yeah, there you can kind of see the buttons here, and that tack button is illuminated.
And if you go to the pop-up one that they have too, you can see them. Yeah.
No, but thank you so much for that, Michael. Let's see. Oh, I can't. It just like always just bumps up and then I lose everything. Okay, well, if anyone had a question and I didn't answer it, feel free to drop it back in chat because I kind of lost some of this. Jim said, how do you know you're nerds when you send someone an email at the other side of your home? I mean, sometimes we have like Google speakers throughout the house, and sometimes we'll like, what is it?
Send an announcement or
Send an announcement through those. That's kind of fun, especially in the garage.
Yeah, Eric was out in the garage, and I sent him because
that was kind of fun.
I know he wasn't using his cell phone, so I was sending him a text message. He wasn't responding because he was like painting or something like that in the garage.
No more secrets, Diego. Right there.
So I sent him an announcement on one of the garage speakers, and he came inside.
Yeah. Oh, do I have paint in my hair? Great. So Rob has a good question, and it's something I forgot to address earlier. Heated steering wheel update. So yes, I do, and unfortunately, it is not what we want it to be. I did hear back from Tesla. Yeah, I can buy the steering wheel, but the Tesla will no longer. What was the word exactly? Basically, enable anything, whether it be the noisemaker, pedestrian warning system, the center console security thing, or the new steering wheel for heat. Even if it technically works, they won't enable that until headquarters gives them an official okay to retrofit.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunately, heated steering wheel may not happen. It depends how long it takes corporate to give the official okay to retrofit announcement and okay. So in the meantime, I am just returning the current wheel that I have because it was like $530. If they finally enable that, I'll go ahead and buy another one. But it is kind of a bummer. This is the first I've heard about it. I think it's pretty recent. Hopefully it's not something I caused. Yeah. Maybe it is. But I think Tesla, like easy stuff like this, Tesla needs to just allow other people to do that. Such as me.
It would be nice. Again,
and kind of just like charge me a fee.
Kind of like what we were talking about with licensing earlier for accessories. It would be nice if they had some sort of license. They already have it with like service, not service centers, but body shops.
Yeah.
They can become like official Tesla body shops. And it would be nice if they had something, maybe not a body shop, but somebody who could do minor, tweaks or modifications to cars.
Yeah.
Without having to have the whole body shop, It's kind of like a mobile Tesla service, but not Tesla owned.
Yeah. So, sad news on that front, unfortunately. As of right now, the heated steering wheel retrofit is on hold per Tesla. Let's see. Diego said, have you ever tried Electrify America? Ever used the CHAdeMO adapter?
We tried. It was a couple years ago. They built Electrify America at a Walmart close to us. That we did not have the CHAdeMO adapter, but we went down, checked out the station, and oddly enough, they have 4 stalls. The one with the CHAdeMO had a handicap spot, so legally we were not allowed to park there because we don't have a handicap permit. So we actually complained to Electrify America saying that the sign was wrong, because if they're making it a handicap spot, no non-handicapped person would be able to use the CHAdeMO because they only have one CHAdeMO adapter out of the 4 stations. We also tried using their level 2 charger that they had located there, and it was out of service, and based upon reports on PlugShare, it had been out of service for quite some time. So no, we have not used Electrify America because, one, we were not legally allowed to park in that spot, and the ones that was open that we could have parked in was out of service. And so I contacted Electrify America. They said they would fix it. They got the level 2 thing working a few weeks later. As far as I know, the handicap sign is still there.
Yeah. But as far as the CHAdeMO adapter, no, because it was, how much?
At the time, it was like $500. I think they brought the price down $430 or something, but it would be something big nice. I'm sure we can find somebody in Denver area that we could borrow one from.
To me,
but also
I've never had the need to use it because there's so many superchargers.
Yeah, it's a lot slower, but if you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's faster than level 2.
Yeah.
So I think that if we ever...
It definitely has its pros and cons.
If we ever do go on a road trip that we need one, we can borrow one. I think we don't need to buy one. It makes sense if you live in a place. Some people have free like CHAdeMO charging, so definitely would be a good deal for you.
Great idea. Tesla owners clubs. This would be a great thing.
A lot of them have them and loan them out.
They can like loan them out. A bunch of people maybe pay like $10. They buy a couple and then they can like rent them out to
some
owner
places
clubs.
have that, yeah. Members. And some places now, some charging stations do have like a CHAdeMO adapter there, kind of on a chain or a retractable steel cable or something like that. So if you need it, you can grab it off the side. You can't take it with you, but you can use it as an adapter. But again, that's why I wish Tesla would just come out with that CCS adapter, because we've seen it in Europe. It's very small, and you just plug it in. Then plug it into your car and it works. And it charges a lot faster with CCS than the CHAdeMO adapter, which is like limited to 50 kilowatts. Again, 50 kilowatts is still better than 10 or 20 kilowatts level 2 charging, but supercharging is usually faster than that, at least for us.
Yeah. Jim said, can you imagine a Ford pulling into a Tesla station? It's admitting they blew it. Agreed. But I have seen Fords at the Tesla superchargers icing them. But yeah, I agree.
We've seen lots of Fords at superchargers.
But I think that's the big reason why none of these, let's just call them legacy auto, would ever partner with Tesla, because that is pretty much admitting Tesla was right all along and they were wrong. And I think some people just need to kind of get off their high horse. There's no harm admitting somebody else did it right. The issue is we need more EVs on the road.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good median that could be reached there. Let's see. John, thank you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that.
Did you get Ryan's on?
I have John then Ryan.
Okay.
said, I have a CHAdeMO adapter. It works on Electrify America. Awesome. Have you ever used it, John? I presume you have. But I guess the biggest issue I have is with the price of it, how much do you actively have to use it to be able to get that price
$430,
back?
Or $500, however much it costs.
It just seems really expensive. But if it works and it's in a place where there aren't really superchargers, all the better for sure.
Or I know some people bought it because they have, like I said, free, like free level 2 chargers, but they have free CHAdeMO charging. It's like, hey, if I spend $430, $500, I can charge my car for free, for years to come.
Yep. Thank you though, John, for the $2. And then Ryan on the loose, thank you also for $2. Said, did the dash cam work with the new center console? Yes. So the great thing, the center console is really just a plug and play thing, minus the security module. It just needs to be paired with the car. It took a few minutes for Tesla to do this, but the connectors for the security module are the exact same on both the old and new center console. You can remove the security module from the old one and put it into the new one. You just need to make sure you don't break any clips. And I didn't want to go that route because I didn't want to break any clips on a brand new $800 center console. That would have really sucked. So I didn't go that route. I just had them paired. Unfortunately, they won't do that now.
But the cool thing is,
the dash cam, for the plug, it's the same plug, and it just plugs right into the same spot, basically. And that will do all your phone chargers, your dash cam, and your music. So everything works as it should. Oh, are you putting safety?
No. But also, though, mention how, the dash cam is in the center console. It's not in the glove compartment. So that's
true.
One
Yeah,
difference.
I didn't run like anything to the glove box. I just have it in the center console in one of the USB-Cs. He's gonna take her out there. Here, I'll shoot it real quick while she's out there.
We don't want to startle her too much.
We don't want to scare her.
Okay, let's go.
Ready? I haven't done this in like forever.
Oh, let's go. Go. Oh, what is
That
it?
was really loud.
Yeah, she was instantly like, what's going on?
That was really loud.
Safety patrol.
Thank you, Jeff, for
It's okay.
the $10 super chat.
Everything's okay.
Said, I just wanted to see safety
There you
patrol
go.
again. I wonder what the snakes think in the
Oh
other
yeah,
room.
I don't know. I never
Can
thought
they
of that.
feel? They might be able to feel it. I don't think they can hear.
I don't know.
Surprise! If you didn't know, I have snakes in the other room. Yeah.
Behind door number 3.
Behind door number 3. Thank you though, Jeff, for the $10 super chat. Maybe at the end we will give them snacks
Oh, I hear Kit coming
on
too.
camera. Oh yeah, here comes Kit.
You can hear Kit coming down the stairs.
He's a big boy. But yeah. Let's see. Someone said, or Michael said, we should call it Derek Refresh S.
We could probably do that. The license plate wouldn't
Oh
work.
yeah, the license plate.
But his Velcro,
Yeah,
he needs a
think about
Velcro. He needs a seatbelt, like a seatbelt extender.
You
but
need a
he
seatbelt
needs a
extender,
safety
buddy?
vest extender
Yeah.
because the Velcro wasn't quite meant for a dog his size.
They are cute. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we should make a dog YouTube channel.
We have a few TikToks and
Yeah, we
stuff out
do.
there.
Let's see. Megan Reeves said, I emailed you actively shopping, live outside of Las Vegas and Henderson. You know what's funny, though? We have sold 2 Teslas.
3
Teslas
to Nevada. Yeah, 2 of them one was in Reno, one was in Las Vegas, and one was in Laughlin.
Yeah. That's funny. But I will email you after, Megan. And
So yeah, 3 of the 5, we've sold 5 cars, I think. At least 5, maybe
Something
6.
like that.
But 3 of them went to Nevada.
my first S,
Yeah.
the silver Model 3,
And then
the Model X.
Model X, yeah.
That's actually kind of funny.
Then other states, I know Minnesota was one. Oh, and then Michigan was the other one. So those are the 5 I can remember.
Yeah. Let's see. More
Well, here's James Whitman says he's got an older Tesla with unlimited supercharging. When I sell it, will the unlimited charging stay with the car? It should if it's like 2016 or older. So by him saying it's older, it probably would.
It should say on your account
They
when you look
changed
at
it.
the details.
It doesn't say transferable anymore. They changed that when they brought.
They did have it there,
when
and now they got
when
rid
they
of it.
changed the S and X web pages to look like the 3. They got rid of the detail because it used to have a date or a paragraph saying you have unlimited supercharging. If you sell your car, it will transfer or it will not transfer. So we have our 2017s. The car The supercharging is free for lifetime, but it will not transfer to the next owner if we sell those cars.
Yeah.
But if you have something from before 2017, some 2017 models have it, but you would have had to order it by January 15th or so. So it sounds like yours is probably older than that. If you're the original owner, it should transfer. If you bought it from somebody else and sold it a few times or bought it through a dealership, then Tesla might take it away. But since you currently have it, if you sell it private party, it should transfer.
Yeah. Diego said, how would we know if they enable a retrofit? Do we have to keep asking them? Yeah, unfortunately, I think so.
We'll let you know.
But as soon as I hear anything about any retrofits, I'll definitely talk about it and probably tweet about it. So just, I guess, kind of follow me there. Noah said, my high school capstone project is about Tesla.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I am learning a lot of information as I watch this stream. Awesome. Yeah. If you have any other questions,
send us an email at admin@teslainventory.com.
That sounds like a fun project. I didn't do fun projects like that.
Yeah, send us an email or something. If you have any questions, we can help, because if it's about Tesla, we probably know the answer.
Yeah. Abstract Ocean said, Tesla are becoming a dull company in terms of corporate getting involved in everything. Yeah. Yeah. True. That's why I almost feel like maybe corporate decided no more retrofits until it's official because of my videos. I almost feel that might be the case. And if so, my bad. Yeah. Alan, thank you so much for another $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. It said, where do I find info on using other charging networks with Tesla? Boise to Winnemucca is a no-go, preventing me from buying a long-range Model 3.
Yeah, I think the best place is a Better Route Planner.
Better Route Planner.
Because if you go to a betterrouteplanner.com, you can type in your route and you can say which charging networks you want to use. Typically, I mean, if you have a Tesla, it will show you superchargers, but you can pull it up and tell it you want to use Electrify America or something else. And I know that out in your area, you're talking about between Boise and Winnemucca, they just opened up one recently. I'm trying to pull up the map here. Let's see. They just opened in Wells, Nevada. That was kind of big news because they opened the first V3 there in Nevada along I-80. So that's, let me see, I'm trying to look where Boise is compared to Winnemucca.
I actually pulled up a Better Route Planner.
Okay, yeah.
So here I kind of just did this.
Oh, Winnemucca's farther west, so that wouldn't help them in Wells. No.
Tesla Supercharger in Boise to Winnemucca.
There's nothing, yeah.
The cool thing though is there's a bunch of settings so you can select your car. So either a car that you have or one that you're planning on buying, and kind of play around with it. You can link your Tesla account. I don't necessarily do this, but you can.
That way you can view it in the car. It'll pull it up automatically, and you can. We typically just use a Better Route Planner for pre-trip planning, but you can actually run it on the car's browser as long as you don't have MCU1.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of stuff. You can go into detail and you can really get into it. You can change your reference consumption, which is kind of fun because
we get more efficient. We get better consumption than what the reference one is.
Not me.
Oh, well, I do, but I don't have a performance car, so
I go fast.
Mine's a little more efficient.
I supercharge differently. I go fast in between.
No, that reference consumption, though, is at 65 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah, but I don't go 65.
Well, no, but if you were driving 65, that's what you put in to calculate your trip.
I go faster than that because most speed limits can go higher than that. But here you can enable a bunch of stuff here. Your speed, your conditions. So if it's going to be really cold, you might want to do that. Extra weight. So if you have a full car or anything like that. But there's a lot of stuff in here that you can really dive into. Definitely check it out. But the battery and chargers for your charging. That's where
you can choose other networks or other
Tesla,
stations,
CCS level 2, CHAdeMO. You can do all that in here, and that can be kind of fun. But currently, let's see.
Do you have other ones network?
It says no go.
Yeah, well, try choosing other networks. I think you just typed Tesla.
Yeah, I know, I did. I just wanted to
so
kind of show that.
So that's why he's saying he can't really get there just with a Tesla.
And then so if we click.
They don't have CCS yet, but go ahead and do it. So if Tesla were to offer a CCS,
what about CHAdeMO or level 2?
Do all of them, and that way, see, it'll figure it out and see.
It'll be a long time, probably.
No, there you go. So so there's one right on the border.
Oh yeah.
So zoom in on that one or click on it.
Where is this?
That's Boise there.
Oh yeah, okay. So
there's one on the border there between is that Oregon and I can't see, and Nevada.
Yeah.
But so it would be possible. But is that click on it? Is that CCS or is it CHAdeMO? So it's CCS. Oh, it's both. They have either one.
CCS or CHAdeMO.
So if you had a CHAdeMO adapter, there's a route where the CHAdeMO adapter, like we were talking about earlier,
it does say that you only need to spend 20 minutes there, which is kind of nice. Anyway, it's kind of a fun website, so you can kind of poke around on that. It really will help you find exactly how you can get places on other networks.
Yeah.
But thank you for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. Let's see. Rob said, did Tesla design the Model Y front mud flaps because consumers wanted them or because there was a design flaw causing damage to the paint body and Tesla wants to avoid a recall for paint damage? Ooh, snap. I think it might have been a little bit of both, but to be honest...
All cars have wheels, and wheels will throw stuff up at the rear of the car, and that's what happens.
I wasn't really happy with them, but the great thing is... I'm trying to just pull up my post real quick. Abstract Ocean is getting some Model Y mud flaps, and I've been playing around with them before they actually got them in. And so I did a little sneak peek in my story on YouTube. So here you can kind of see this side I did the Abstract Ocean mud flaps on, and this side was the Tesla version with just the front. And you can definitely see the Tesla one was a lot dirtier. I actually flipped sides, redid the test. Video on that as well as install coming sooner when they can get some stock in. But I definitely prefer their mud flaps over the Tesla ones just because it provides some back coverage as well. Because you do have that painted surface in the back, and I don't want that getting chewed up either. And I just kind of prefer the look of these ones over Tesla's too. Tesla's literally looked as, what did you call it, a cutting board?
Looks like a vinyl cutting board or whatever, or not vinyl, but those cheap cutting boards.
Like the HDPE.
But they have rear, so you have rear mud flaps too, right?
Yeah, so the Abstract Ocean ones, you have the front one, just like the Tesla one, but you actually get one in the rear with Abstract Ocean versus Tesla doesn't give you anything in the rear. So it gives you a lot more protection in the rear, which I think is just as valuable as on the side.
And it's not just that. It's going to protect other cars behind you as well. Because I don't know if you're ever driving behind a semi or something like that. You keep your distance because you don't want it kicking up rocks. Because some of them don't have mud flaps or they're missing. And so you're protecting other cars too by having those mud flaps.
Yeah. But if you want more info, you can click... If you go to my channel page and click on community, you can see it should be the first post on there. And there's actually a link for Abstract Ocean's page. I can actually put it in chat too. And you can sign up to get notified when they are in stock. But when they are, we'll be doing a video. I'll show you how to install them. They're super easy. No drilling, like those original Model 3 mud flaps.
Those, yeah.
You don't have to do any drilling. It's just a few clips that are all matching the OEM clips. So super easy. But yeah, so far I've been really happy with them. I've actually been using them for probably almost like a month now. Let's see. Thank you, Amy, for answering the Mach-E questions. I have not been able to drive a Mach-E myself because Ford doesn't like returning my phone calls or emails. So that's fun. But yeah, let's see. John said he has used the EV or the Electri America just to make sure it works, but it is very expensive. And that is kind of a bummer. Let's see. Michael said, I can see VW partnering with Tesla.
They're really big. I mean, they keep talking about having, all these different models, and we've seen a few come out, but they are going to hopefully be big. It'd be nice to have some competition.
Yeah. Let's see. Where else are we? Wow. Okay. So a lot of Electri America stuff. He said Electri America in Minnesota charges by the kilowatt now, but it's crazy money to charge there.
Yeah,
they charge a monthly fee too?
You can join a little plan that's only a few dollars, but it makes the per charge price cheaper. But they redid their pricing a few months back. It used to be really expensive. I think it got slightly more affordable, but yeah, some places, I don't know if they charge by the kilowatt everywhere now, but yeah, I remember they used to be much worse. I think Supercharging is still better or less expensive, but if you don't have any choice, you got to go.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, James. I don't know why Streamlabs kicked out your comment. No.
Can you see what it was? Oh, it says spamming symbols, so it must be interesting.
I don't know what. I didn't see it, and unfortunately, it doesn't show it to me. It just says please don't spam symbols. So I don't. Yeah, sorry, James. I've been trying that to try to like help moderate the chat, but here we go. Let's see, where were we? Michael said that one had a lot of gun smoke. Yeah, so the one that I did, you could actually see like the plume of like smoke from the...
Yeah, this is a new batch of them.
It's a new batch, and they're very loud. Maybe they need to age.
I wonder if there's something we could do to make them a little quieter, but...
Put like a
silencer.
Silencer on the
Amy?
confetti gun. That's funny. Let's see. Amy said we need a sign for the snake room. Oh, that's actually a good idea. We could do that. Let's see. Where were we? Brian said, I'm huge on ChargePoint, first as a customer and now as an investor. So the nice thing, I believe there's some free charge points.
It depends, yeah.
Depending on like where it's at, if they help like offset it. Those are kind of nice. I'm kind of a big fan for businesses putting in charging because it does help attract customers.
Yeah, and we know there's a realtor up in Golden that he has solar panels that provide, and he provides charging. I think it was originally just for Teslas, but he has like regular J1772, and we've went up there once or twice and used them just to and we've talked to him about it, showed our appreciation. But it's nice when it can bring in a customer that might be thinking about going someplace else. Why not, especially if you have solar, once you've paid for it, it's free. So but it can be a low cost incentive to bring people in, and like grocery stores have their like fuel pumps and stuff, and you save like 9 cents per gallon. Why not put in a few level 2 chargers and bring in some customers that way?
Oh, 100%. Let's see here. Some people were asking if my large Cybertruck has shown up, the RC. It has not yet. But I finally did get my pre-orders of the Cybertruck.
We should be giving some of those away. We should start doing a contest.
I ordered a ton of these when they first became available, and I was planning on giving away, and then my pre-orders never showed up, and then all of a sudden Target started carrying them. So shout out to one of our viewers on Twitter. They actually found an extra one at a local Target and brought this to us. Huge thanks to them. But we are going to be paying it forward and be doing some giveaways on these little Hot Wheels Cybertrucks. So I don't know what channels we're going to be doing that on. I'll probably do like 1 or 2 on Twitter maybe this week, so make sure you're following me there. Maybe I'll do one on Instagram. I would like to do it here on YouTube, but because of what has happened over the past couple years, it's hard for me to reach out to people and know it's truly them. Because if I say somebody won one and to email me, I end up getting like a ton of emails saying, "Oh, that was me," and it's
you can't send direct messages anymore, so it makes it difficult on YouTube. It
does. So I'll try to do some in a couple different channels, like between Instagram and Twitter. So if you have one and not the other.
So tell them what are your Instagram and Twitter?
They're linked down below.
Okay, so make sure you check the description of today's video, and then you can see it. Go subscribe there, and then you can see how to win some of those.
Yeah, but we
got like two big boxes of them arrived last week.
I ordered a lot, and that's why I was kind of bummed when they showed up at Target, and my pre-order from a year and a half didn't ship yet. It was kind of a bummer. Let's see. Where are we? Someone said there's some concern with the yoke steering not being safe for daily driving. Thoughts? I mean, I've been using, it's kind of a similar style yoke, but it does kind of go up a little bit more on the sides as my daily for the Model Y for maybe a few weeks. And I haven't had any issues. I don't really think there's that big of a concern. I think the NHTSA said as long as it features everything, they wouldn't have any issue with it. So, I don't know. I kind of like it. And to be honest, with FSD and FSD beta and all that coming out, it's like, how much am I really going to be needing the steering wheel?
Yeah, I say give it a try. Don't, maybe if you're not convinced, go try to do a test drive first. Because like Eric said, he's got it, and he had it in the 3, now he's got it in the Y. And it's different the very first time, but it only takes a few minutes to get used to it. Kind of like when I did my first Tesla, the Model X test drive about 5 years ago. I wasn't used to regen, and take my foot off the accelerator, and it was like, whoa, that regen is strong. But after a few minutes, I knew what it was doing, and I got used to it. So I think give the yoke a try. If it's not for you, then hopefully you'll still be able to get the regular steering wheel.
Yes. Let me see here. And I think that gets us all caught up. Chris did just say law should be all cars require rear auto emergency braking, cross-traffic braking, and other safety features rather than pedestrian warning system. What do you guys think? Oh, of course. More safety features, the better. It's definitely not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. Michael said Lexus is doing yoke steering on their new EV announced yesterday.
I haven't seen
Google
that.
it for pics. I'm on it. Oh, wait. Sorry. Camera's on you.
And I think somebody else had one too. Like, was it BMW or Mercedes showed like a prototype or...
Did it?
What was the one? Yeah, it was a really cool looking one, but I can't remember. But it had a yoke as well. Like, that was like a year and a half ago.
Well, here's an article, but it didn't have anything. Need some pictures here and preview. Not it. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to look that up. That sounds kind of fun. Who doesn't love a good yoke? Let's see. Chris also said, what if Tesla in the future accepts Dogecoin as payment? I still wouldn't probably pay in Dogecoin because, again, that's more of an appreciation. Well, not lately. But in the grand scheme of it, those kinds of like cryptos seem to be appreciating, whereas Tesla, once you buy it, it's going to depreciate. So I probably wouldn't use it, but I am happy to see it be accepted more widely because that's just going to do more for that crypto in general.
Somebody, as John said, the Mercedes EQS has a yoke.
Oh,
so that might be the one that I was thinking about. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Is it the EQC though, or is it the S?
You said S. I don't know. It could be a C. I don't know.
Okay. I'll have to look that up.
Oh, somebody else said new pics of the EQC as well. So.
Oh, okay. So it's both then. Oh, interesting. Let me look. Yoke. Maybe I can just find it this way. Oh yeah. Okay. I just looked up the yoke.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I guess was in their video. Is it like a yoke wheel? Interesting. I mean, I think a lot of people might be seeing all the buzz that Tesla generated from this and like, hey, we need to get on that train.
And as we saw too, like Diego brought it up, he mentioned the Roadster. Yeah. It had a yoke, and so did the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
So we've seen this for, since 2017. Tesla has had yokes. And I don't think, I think they didn't have the adaptive steering so much back then, but hopefully they've been working on that in the last few years, and it'll be easier. So you don't have to turn the wheel, because if you look at old episodes of Knight Rider where Kit had a yoke, not Mr. Kit, but the car Kit.
Not the dog. Look, they're both
this
watching
is Kit,
you.
yeah.
Wow,
but they would turn the steering wheel, and he would have to turn all the way around. And we've seen reviews of people saying they drove like a replica of that, and it was like hitting their legs. But hopefully with the adaptive steering control with a yoke, it would be less than 90 degrees or whatever each way.
I think the dogs are trying to tell you something.
Yeah, he's like staring, like, what's going on? It's time for dinner, huh?
Are you hungry?
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh.
Foods.
Foods.
Anyway, we've been live for a little over 2 hours, so we'll probably go ahead and call it there. And we will. Okay, Michael DM'd me on Twitter for the Lexus yoke, so I'll check that out. So we'll probably call it there. And yeah, as for videos this week, hopefully we have one on Thursday. That is the plan. As far as the garage update, I'm trying to see if I can finish it in time for this week. Worst case, it'll be next week. But it is coming along very, very well. I'm very, very excited to show you all.
We also have hopefully a very
really
important video coming
on
up
Thursday.
Yes.
Yes.
So don't be sure not to miss that one.
Be sure not to miss it. It'll be a good one.
Or be sure to miss that one.
Or be sure. Either way. But huge thanks to everyone for hanging out. Super chats. Really appreciate it. As always, though, they are definitely not required, but certainly appreciated. And again, though, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you are looking to accessorize a Model SX3, Y, soon to come Cybertruck, Roadster, all those fun vehicles, definitely check them out. All linked down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. I actually got word today. I don't know. We can't spill it. I don't know what I can say about it, but there is some other product coming from Abstract Ocean that I'm going to be testing this week.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures.
Yep. So hopefully that goes really well, and that will be a fun future product that I think a lot of you will like. So definitely check them out. Again, though, huge thanks to them. They help make all this possible so we can hang out with you guys and have a great live stream. But otherwise, I think we're going to go ahead and feed the safety patrol, who's cleaning each other's ears right now. So we'll go ahead and talk to you guys later. But again, though, huge thanks for hanging out. Bye.